Yeah, because we're live, I'll say no more. But like, it's becoming increasingly clear that there's guys they know need to be on 90 days, and there's guys that are like, yeah, you can go ahead, Weston Blake. You know, like, it is what it is. They're aware of the situation. Like, Jack, I loved your optimism today about Raw getting good if things keep going this way. I just don't know, man.
No, and I also don't mean it'll sustain, but I think you could run into those, and we've seen them a million times throughout the years where there might be a good 6-month year stretch where Raw is appointment viewing. You have to be there every Monday, and it might be good, but then it'll fall off the cliff again.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing, and this has been talked about a lot, in the 20 years or whatever that they've had 2 shows, they've been good at the same time for about 18 months total.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's stepped further.
You guys are trolls.
Hang on a second. Tope Suicida, gifted a sub. Top man, great name. Rishi, please thank the Tope Suicida. Merry Christmas to everyone. I appreciate Bob putting his jumper on. I was supposed to go and get mine, but I can't be bothered. It is Christmas here in the distraction. We'll explain that in a minute because neither of our guests understand the bit. But, firstly, here's a question for you guys, okay? Bob is correct, obviously. What are the actual good runs of both shows in the last 20 years? Like, what ones would you circle? Like, that was a good run for Raw or SmackDown. Like, I would like to know, because I'm not as educated on it as you guys are.
Like, at the same time, or just when was
just
one?
Just individually, yeah.
I'm terrible at this, like remembering years. Bob, so correct me. From one that comes to mind, around 2013, 2014, Raw?
I would agree with that. Yeah. With
like
the
leading into
Shield,
WrestleMania
with
3,
Ryan. Yeah,
Shield.
I agree.
Yep, that was good. SmackDown, right when they did the first draft, and they had Eddie and Benoit and Angle and all them there, and Brock.
When they did a new draft, like 2016, was also very good. When they did like Land of Opportunity, and it was AJ, Ambrose, Cena, all that good stuff. That was really good.
Yeah.
There's not. If we're going to be really honest, I'm not even saying it's a bit deep. Like, there's not many, is there? For being honest, there's not a lot that jump off the page. Like, that was a great run. Like, it's just Raw and SmackDown, right? They are what they are.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, that kind of is what it is at this point, right? Like, you will watch usually because you're familiar with it, and
right.
And then it's maybe, but part of the problem too is, and again, Bob, like if I'm wrong, correct, but when they do these drafts / shake up things, they can never get them equal.
No.
They can never balance. It's always one or the other. It's always, holy shit, Raw is stacked, or oh my God, look at SmackDown. They never it's never balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason for that is that you have so many cooks in the kitchen, and they all have a disagreement on who's good and who's bad. Like, there are guys in the creative team that are like, fuck, I got the Miz, awesome, and then there are other guys, Paulie, that was like, I don't want the Miz or Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt or any of these fucking idiots. And that's the problems you run into. So it's very difficult. Quickly, JK, 200 bits. Jeremy, what karaoke bars we're hitting up in Chicago? Jeremy is locked in right now. But all of them is his answer. We appreciate the bits. Drew Galoo, this is a new name. 200 bits. Tremendous. We appreciate the love, folks. I'm not very good at understanding what's going on, but there's a hype train. We have 4 minutes and 26 seconds to do something. I don't know what. Maybe the stream blows up if we don't do it. I don't know. Please help. Okay.
Bits and subs. Bits and subs.
Yeah. Wrestling. Good, right? No, I think we have to be realistic about what these shows are. And it's like, I tell you what was a decent run of Raw. Do you remember when they had Joe and Braun both rolling at once? And it was like, who's going to beat Brock? And then just neither of them did? That was good.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Man, there was a time where Braun Strowman, and I kind of looked at it, it's like, yeah, that's the guy right there. Holy shit, we kind of backed into this. That's the guy right there. And then, nope. But I still maintain that, yes, the All Elite fleet should pick up Braun. And I think the perfect role for him is a heater for the Elite.
Fuck, that is so great because they're sold out.
Because he's the antithesis of what they are,
and they've sold out. Right? It's perfect.
If they grab his services, the ultimate WWE guy, to be their protector,
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. You could get a good 6 months a year out of that, out of Big Braun, just protecting the Young Bucks and Kenny.
I'm really with that. Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, the question is how much you pay. That's the problem, right? I mean, TK's got a lot of money, but like, Braun strikes me as a guy that really would want a lot to work there because I don't think he thinks very highly of it. So
No.
I don't know. I like Braun. He's one of those guys that they missed the opportunity, so now he's kind of like a punching bag, which I think is a shame. I had one of these experiences this past weekend, and you guys may not remember this. Before I go any further, there are many bits. We have completed level 1 of the hype train. Folks, that seems good. 200 bits from JJ, we appreciate it. Drew says, what do you think will happen if WWE Creative doesn't get any better? It will just continue to make lots of money. I'm sorry, it's the truth. JJ with a bunch more bits, which I believe is what completed the hype train and all that good stuff. Merry Christmas, folks. Again, I will explain the Christmas joke in a minute. We're just talking about wrestling. I apologise. Now, I was watching, you guys may not remember this, Survivor Series 2014, okay? One of the last true WWE matches in which it is the John Cena's team versus the Authority, and there are about 2.5 good wrestlers in the match. It's an old school WWE match. You got Braun, you got Ryback, Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane, all these guys.
Yeah.
And it's the Dolph Ziggler match, right? And it's the match where Dolph comes back from 3-on-1 down. And I'm watching this match. I'm watching my brother. He's never seen it. And I'm like, listen, man. People say one about Dolph. There's a window in this match. And instead, what happens in the finish? Sting comes out and they set up Sting versus Triple H. And Dolph's like forgotten almost by the end of it. And it's like, that's a window though, man. Whether you think Dolph sucks or not, I like Dolph, but that's a moment.
No, that's where they could have like made him a big deal.
Yes. Yeah, but yes, like we could look yes, Dolph takes a lot of shit now, but there were at least 4 or 5 times during his career in that company where there were certain where you're like, okay, now figure out what to do with him, figure out how to strap the rocket to his ass. Come on, and they just never do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's been champion a couple times. He's been there for 15 years. I don't think, he has any regrets about it.
No.
But, as a fan, yeah.
Does he still do his comedy shows? Or is he still trying to be still trying to be a comedian?
I think the last year kind of, he'll probably pick back up. But, yeah, I mean.
Folks, Drew Nicholas gifted 10 subs. Many good people that I will not read the name of because my eyes are too bad to do so. Please thank Drew. He rules. Everyone else is talking about Dolph and Christmas. Okay, now that we've come to a halt. Hello? Yes.
Gifted subs by Drew. Make Matt King of Spades, Raw F Showtime, Real Perfect 10, CJ Feria, Duckhead, Josh O 191 Professional Amateur, Cyclops is better than Logan, Joseph Poland Jr., and Silverblade all got the gifted sub from Drew. If you were gifted sub, please say thank you to Drew. Acknowledge Drew as the gifted sub king as part of the hype train here. I think we're over 100 subs now. Usually it's in my little top hand thing, and some reason it's not there. So give me 1 second and I will confirm if we are over 100 subs now.
Another 200 bits from the JJ. Folks are excited about Christmas.
As everybody should be excited about Christmas, right?
500 bits from Drew again, who's running wild.
Oh my God, Drew. Thank you, buddy.
Tremendous character. Great guy.
Drew rules. I like Drew.
We all like Drew.
He got a promo on you.
He did, but what are you gonna do, man? It's the cost of doing business.
Cost of doing business. Tremendous.
Franco, 95 bits for the lads. He's coming home, Franco. You already know. Okay, Jeremy, tell me when you're.
I don't know. I can't find it, and I got other stuff to do.
Good. Go on, you good, bro. Okay. I appreciate you reading the things. That would have fucked me up. I would have had life stroke. Okay. A year ago, we reviewed about 4 consecutive Christmas films in June and July. And we believe it was on this week that I just said, this is now what we do. We now just do Christmas in July. We then never reviewed films again, so the bit is kind of useless. But we've brought it back for this post show and apparently just used it to get lots of bits and subscriptions out of people, which feels like exploitation. But that's not my job here. I'm merely just running bits and popping myself. JJ, another 10 bits, I believe we got here. Man, people are running wild. We really do appreciate it, folks. Dolph Ziggler, look, good pro wrestler. That was my take, anyway. Good pro wrestler.
Oh, all right, Joseph. Let me throw one at you. You guys talked about it on the show. They got to strap up the machine gun next week with that IWGP US title, don't they?
I think I'm going to be in the finish for that match. I think I'm going to do a run-in. I really think we're going to come out of this. This is just my prediction, okay, guys? If this doesn't happen, blame Tony. I think we're going to come out of that with a 6-man. The Good Brothers and myself taking on Penta, King, and Mox is what I think we're running at Fighter Fest Part 2. But I don't know for sure. You know, I feel like I could be in the finish on this. No, look, I don't think Cole's winning.
I think
dude, it's fucking so great that he's on that show. Like, what a carny brother.
Well, I love how they just flung that out there last night. Like they're like, oh, by the way, next week we're going to Texas. Oh, by the way, Moxley versus Carl Anderson, IWGP US title. Like, what, man? What?
Yeah, it's tremendous, man. Bob's got actual work to do. What a coward. 300 bits, Kylo, the theme song creator, the god, top man, Kylo. We appreciate it. It's Christmas, he says, indeed. Look, I think it's going to be fascinating, Jack. I mean, fascinating. When the Good Brothers, their contracts come up, they could do something, truly.
Well,
I mean, they just go, cheers, Impact.
What are those Impact contracts up?
Next summer.
It's July, right? It was a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
So
They basically work for AEW right now.
Yeah. And like pay-wise, so they said themselves, they said there was a guy that had got just renewed. And I believe we know this was. It's the guy who Bob says is the guy on Raw. And I think he was at around 480 was the reported number. And Cole said he was like, now that we're working for both, we're going to make more than this guy. So, like, they're double dipping in every which way. Now they're working New Japan? Brother, this is some carny shit.
Yeah, but you know, New Japan's got they got issues, man. Because if Tokyo just declared a state of emergency again, that Tokyo Dome show's screwed, right?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. That's supposed to be at like the end of the month or something too.
Right? The 25th.
Yeah.
25th. Yeah, they're screwed again. They gotta. We have to go over there. We have to rescue Kazuchika Okada. We have to put him in a bubble, get him over here.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because that is still my dream AEW. Yeah, my emotions are just like obviously the Hangman thing. I've beat it to death. That's the way to go. Like he beats Kenny for the title.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it'd be cool as shit if nobody in that company could figure out how to beat Kenny and Okada just shows up. And says, all right, I'll take care of this. And people lose their minds because they're like, oh, shit, yeah, he definitely can beat Kenny.
The thing is, it's just so weird. Before we go any further here, I'm sorry, guys, I'm missing stuff. Tim, 100 bits, you know you rule. He's going to be at the show next Wednesday, man. What a fucking show. So
nice.
That's gonna be tremendous. Enjoy that, Tim. You feel free to message me when you want to meet the Machine Gun Cole Anderson. Don't actually do that. I'm not friends with the Machine Gun Cole Anderson. What else have we got here? Yes, so I've talked about. Now, look, I will say though, it's really interesting. When AEW started, if you'd have said that, people would have gone, New Japan doesn't need AEW. How different does that feel now, dude? It's like, that feels unfathomable that people once thought that, right? It's the opposite now, completely changed.
They are in so much trouble. They've been in trouble from the day they slapped that title on Evil for whatever reason.
Yes.
What the hell? What are we doing here? And then it seriously fell off the goddamn cliff. Mm-hmm. Like, it'd be one thing if that was just a mistake they made and went, "Ooh, okay, all right, we'll fix this. Hold on, we'll put the title back on Naito. Hold on, all right, we'll fix this."
Yeah.
No, everything just turned to shit.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I have a question, Bob.
Yep.
What do you think your chances would be of spotting Evil out of a lineup of Japanese professional wrestlers?
Probably not great, to be honest with you.
That rules so much if you know what Evil looks like, because he's outwardly evil, which is tremendous. I appreciate the honesty, Bob. Yeah, it sucks. It's very sad. And, like, the thing is pro wrestling, though, it's cool and all, but, like, I try to get on that shit, bro. And they put a belt on Mooter, and I was like, I can't do this.
Well,
you know, like it's not the same.
Mouth.
I'm
You
sorry,
could
like,
strap up the Great Muta whenever you want.
bro. Like, he was doing the back elbow and like falling over. It was so sad, man. Like, he was like just falling on his face. The thing is, the actual match he had with Shiozaki who won the title was like dramatic enough that he was into it. It was like some Rocky Balboa shit, you know, when he comes back and fights Tarver. It was like that. But you can't do it over and over.
I want to go. I want to go fully. It used to be better. I want All Japan to get their shit together and make a run. And let's get the early '90s going again. Let's get All Japan in there. Have All Japan bring over all the top guys. Let's get that rolling.
That's what Eddie Kingston wants to. Still waiting for it, isn't he?
Joseph.
Yes.
Did you see my headlines just to pop you today?
I did not. No.
Go to the Fightful Twitter and pick out which headlines I did just to pop you.
Based on when you brought this up, I assume they're involving our friend Ed Kingston. But I'm just guessing. I assume it is not about Keith Lee or the NWA World Heavyweight title in Charlotte.
No.
That's my guess.
Keith Lee, did he tweet something again?
Yeah, I hate that we cover. This person tweeted something stupid.
Okay, so we've got the King, Yunakiyama. Okay, that's fair. That's the first.
That was a really good article too.
Oh my
that was
God,
from the
bro.
article. I saw you link to it, and
Dude.
yeah, that was tremendous.
I want to say this, okay? And guys, I do not know how clued in you are, but Joseph Montecillo, I hope I said his name right. I apologize if I didn't. He does these incredible YouTube videos on the King's Road style. Like these, it's just extraordinary deep dives. And King's a big fan of it. He always puts it over. And like, I know that him and King are cool because he shares his videos and stuff. The guy actually did like an interview with Eddie just purely about the influences of All Japan on his style. Yeah. It is incredible. Jack, you will love it. Like, it's this written interview, but like,
it's so good.
It's because you're reading it in King's voice anyway. Like because he respects Joseph, he's actually going in detail about like the different matches and the stuff that he'd take. And he talks about something that I would talk about a lot with King, which is like, because he bounced around indies, he wasn't able to tell the stories he wanted to, right? Like, it's hard to when you're just stopping here, stopping there. Like, now that he's got a home, he can do shit storytelling-wise. That's just different. He's great, and so is Joseph Monson. He honestly makes some of the best content in wrestling. So, yeah, everyone go and check that out.
Love it. Okay. I love that friggin' guy. So happy he got a main event in the first show
great.
across his show. Like that dude, I'm so happy for that, man.
It's one of those things where I'm used to it now, but it still is kind of awesome, right? Like, you know when like JR gives him like the Mick Foley commentary? You know, he's like, there's still a part of me that's like, oh man, this is so cool. It really is great. Jeremy, what's the other one? I'm still scrolling here. I'm looking, I do not see another one that would pop me. Unless it's the update on Mel and AEW, which I don't think would pop me.
No. Kojima and Hansen.
Kojima and Hansen.
Yeah.
I did not see this. Here's one that does pop me though, Jeremy. Ethan Page. I want to wear more denim, but nerds online will be like, that's Orange Cassidy's outfit.
Well, I didn't write that one to pop you, but thank you. Kojima and Hansen should be above that one.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm being a dumb fuck.
Maybe.
Probably. Let's be honest.
Hold
Dude,
on, let me find
Jack
it.
was ahead of the curve. He said it as soon as Ethan came in. He was like him and Darby, bro. And my God,
it is, Bob. I don't want to speak, but I'm pretty sure if you watch the Ethan Page Darby Allin shit play out, and then you watch their matches, if it's anything close to what they did on the Indies, it's fucking wild what these two can do with each other.
Yeah.
It's wild.
They've done a good job kind of hooking me in, you know, just with the Saturday Dynamite and then the past couple weeks where I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you know, not
like, how do I put this? Like you watch Darby Allin wrestle now, and with regular opponents, Darby's like, all right, man, it's okay if you hurt me. Don't worry about it. But it seems like Ethan and Darby are like actual good friends, where it's like, try to murder me, I don't give a shit. I love you. And they just go in there and that's what they do. And Ethan, even though Ethan's not like a friggin' like monster, he just looks like one when he's beating the absolute piss out of Darby Allin. He looks like a terror.
He's like a bully. So good.
But the funniest thing is though, You know, AEW is how AEW won't say evolve.
But that's so layered because neither of those guys like Gabe and they shit on that promotion.
Yeah.
They're like, no one saw this stuff. No one saw it.
You know, AEW, other guys will go on AEW and they will call out any other promotion by name. They'll be like, yeah, when I wrestled you at Southern Underground Shit Show Mud Show 7 years ago, people remember that. These two are just like, yeah, we know each other from, yeah, we know each other.
Nice. I'm gonna be honest, dude. We can have some fun with this one. I think Ethan is one of the best pure heels in all of pro wrestling.
He's a scumbag.
Who else are we putting on the? Who are we going with? Like, who else is on that list? Truly great villains. Like, they just go out and get heat. What are we thinking here?
Oh, Kevin Owens good. Yeah,
It's weird. I think he's become a better babyface as he's got older because I just think it suits him more. But I get you.
Well, my thing, he can be a baby, but I think that when you tell Kevin this is your role, and if we're talking about this is your role, play it to perfection. Oh, Kevin, 100%.
Yeah,
He's just great. Right? He's just a great pro wrestler.
Oh shit! It's like just natural heels.
So Reese says MJF, and I know that Bob hates MJF, but he's definitely on the list. I think here's what I will say. I think he's a lot more try hard than Ethan. Like, genuinely. Now, the thing is, he's also 23, 24. So that's not an insult.
Now we technically we don't include Randy Orton on this list, right? Because Randy's in a different stratosphere than everybody else when it comes to that guy's a complete shitbag.
yeah.
Dude, I remember listening to Arn Anderson talk about Randy, and he was like, when he is able to just be a heel, and like he's given anything of note or substance, Arn was like, he's the most just awful human being wrestling's ever seen. And I was like, dude, think about Arn Anderson saying this. Like, that's how special Randy is when he's locked in. I was thinking about the Edge feud the other day. Like, do you remember they shot that angle where he did the concerto deal to Edge and he was like holding Edge's head like he was like Norman Bates and shit? Like, he's I mean, Randy should be on the list. He's still active. I think Randy's still.
I just think like he's that holy grail that sits at like all the guys we name. They aspire to be Randy. And
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because the thing about Randy is he can do like psycho or he can do just arrogant. He can do both. You know, like he's tremendous. Well, what are you thinking? You got any names? I'm intrigued.
I mean, it feels like, including Roman right now in the past year,
Fair.
kind of a given.
I want to see it with fans, right? Like, not because I don't think you can do it. I love it. It's just I'm intrigued what it looks like just with an audience and the kind of heat you can gather. I'm intrigued.
I always thought The Rock was very good at it, but that was a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. Ciampa's come out in the chat. I think Ciampa's a good call. He was very good at it.
Ciampa was real good at it.
Dude, Hitman Punk says the Bucks. I'm with that, man. The Bucks, so obnoxious. The Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
That's Finn calls them Matt and Nick Buck.
I'll give it to AEW because like the Bucks, their babyface shtick was wearing on me, but this heel, it fits them perfectly. It's perfect. They're killing this.
Yeah, man. That whole stuff, I said it on the show. Their chemistry with Kingston was so fun, and you didn't expect it to be, right? But you could tell Eddie like actually respects those guys, and he doesn't have any of the like narrative shit. He's like respects who they are, and they just go there and kill it. They had some tremendous. I mean, I loved the match with Moxley at.
That was good.
What was that review called? Double or Nothing?
Yeah.
Double or the Nothing. Yes. Tremendous.
Natural heels. This is a good question.
Switchblade. I like Switchblade. It's a good one in the chat.
I love Jay White. I don't give a shit who knows it. I love
awesome.
White.
Yeah. It's only dipshits like Bob that don't like Jay White, Jack. Don't worry about it.
Really? You don't like Jay White, O'Neal?
How many Jay White matches do you think I've watched?
Probably none, but like that's your fault.
But that section of Twitter hates Jay White. They call him knife pervert and all that stuff.
Jay White is what Seth Rollins thinks he is.
Oh god, that's gonna get us in so much trouble.
You guys like that? You like that?
At Messiah Fan 1 is gonna like click that like, look at these pieces of shit. I will say Bud Murph, big Seth Rollins fan. Made me somewhat sad, I'm gonna be honest. But these things happen. Jack, did you pop for us doing the These Things Happen in MMA reference, Gus Johnson? Did you pop for that, or was that... Yeah. It feels like something you'd enjoy.
Oh, man.
They were glory days, they were. Charlotte Flair, I don't know, man.
I love Charlotte.
What are we discussing?
Like, great heels. What
I
was you gonna say, Jack?
mean, I feel like she could be
In a different, yeah.
yeah, but like
Right.
they fuck it up so bad that like it ain't happening.
Yeah, but I have a newfound respect for Charlotte because I understand people take it too seriously, but everything Andrade has done so far in AEW, she retweets and acknowledges it. Now, I am not accusing her of not being proud of her future husband, but she is definitely also doing it to piss people off.
She's gonna go there. You know that, Jack, right?
Can I say something without being accused of doing a bit? I think
So
at this
whatever you
point, I think at this point she kind of wants to, and not just because of Andrade. I think and you can't. I don't think you can blame Charlotte if she's starting to look around WWE and go, "What else do I do?
All
What
I'll
else do
say
I
is
do here?"
this. You know, sometimes in life, you're a little bit stagnant, a little bit flat, and you start just fucking around for the fun of it, right? You're like, well, what are they going to do? Fire me? Like as Ric Flair fan said, fire me. I'm already fired. You know?
See, I just think it's hilarious because she knows she's going to get those reactions from people of, "Oh, you're tweeting about AEW," and she's like, "Fuck are they going to do?
Well, yeah.
What are they going to do?"
I'm pretty confident it will happen. That's all I'll say. Reese is correct for reminding me that before she was the Fiendess and made me hate wrestling, Alexa Bliss was a great heel. She
Yes.
was indeed. The thing with Alexa is I always thought she's a proper victim to me of they couldn't ever like just have a babyface booked without killing them. It's like she should have had a natural program with Bailey, and it was like the worst shit ever because they killed Bailey. You know,
Well,
they killed Bailey. Like she would have been great if she had good baby faces. I'm not saying the characters weren't good. I'm saying the booking. Like to me, she's like a traditional heel, but they could never quite figure it out.
yeah.
It's a shame. Which led to Alexa getting cheered, and it gets WWE. Yes, what we got here? Flair versus Babyface Baker will be money. I agree. The match could be a sight.
It's not just that, but see, it's like Flair versus Britt, but they bring these Joshi girls in. That's a whole new crop she can work with.
Here's the thing with this though: is like, when was the last time you watched her wrestle, Jack?
Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
A long time ago.
Is she? She hasn't gotten bad. Has she gotten bad? Or I shouldn't say bad. I don't think Charlotte would be bad. Not good.
Well,
Not as good.
Bad. It's bad.
she's gone through stretches in her career though where she just does this sort of thing though.
All I'm saying is,
All right. Well, then to my point before though, let me then could it be possible? I don't want to say it is, but could it be possible that she's just unenthused in that company?
yeah, it's possible.
It's just kind of like losing, like
It's also very, very possible that she has been encouraged by someone, not anyone in particular, to like wrestle like she's Bruiser Brody and only sell if you just hit her as hard as you can. So she just swallows people up and kills them.
she's wrestled just about everyone. She's wrestled in a WrestleMania main event as a champion. I mean, I like I'm saying what I'm saying is I wouldn't blame her if we found out that she's just kind of like, yeah, I'd like to go over there because I feel I can get like 3-4 years of some new stuff under my belt.
Yeah.
I'm
And be with my husband, of course. Like, of course, that's a thing that
I am simply built different. And if I was agenting a Charlotte Flair Liv Morgan match, I would probably tell the Queen Charlotte Flair that like she can sell without waiting for Liv to just punch her in the face. That's been my suggestion. But I am old school, of course. I'm a throwback. So we'll leave that there. What have we got here? Serena Deeb. Yeah, Serena Deeb is very good. I don't know what that's. Oh yes, she could work with Charlotte Flair. She could. Charlotte, by the way, Charlotte's capable of very good things. I just sometimes, man, Jay, you'd see what I mean if you're watching. It's very. I do the pay-per-view reviews, and the amount of notes I have to like erase because I just can't say them publicly. It's just tough, man. Like she's wrestling Rhea, and she's just standing there looking at her like, "You're gonna hit me? You're gonna make me self here?"
It's different with crowds back. I'm going to watch Money in the Bank, obviously, because I'll watch that. I'm going to watch that July 16th SmackDown. Like, I want to see WWE without those stupid freaking TVs. I do want to. I'll watch that SmackDown. I'm going to watch Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But one thing I've heard from a few people is that, like, they've told me, they're like, we understand you don't watch Raw and SmackDown. They're like, but their pay-per-views have been pretty good.
Yes.
I said, really? And they said, the TV product is shit. But their pay-per-views, for whatever reason, they're delivering. And I was like, all right, then maybe, I don't know, maybe without watching, maybe I'll start.
Well, you know what the thing is in-ring stuff isn't their problem.
Because they have the most talented roster they've ever had.
Exactly. So it's easy, for that to shine through a pay-per-views compared to on TV.
I'll say, Joe, you still got me shook about this Drew McIntyre thing. I can't shake it.
Oh, I've said it for a month now. Everyone keeps, well, no, because Bryce, what they do, they get a guy, they choose them, and then they just smash them over and over again. I'm convinced of it.
I don't see it.
But you see Big E and Kevin Owens.
Before. Who else is in that field still? I don't think you guys answered.
In the ladder match?
Yeah, who else is in there besides Drew?
Was it Ricochet and Morrison?
Okay, hang on. What we'll do is, when you name them, we will decide their chance out of 10 to win the match, okay?
Ricochet.
Maybe.
0.
John Morrison.
No.
Absolutely none.
Riddle.
Okay.
Yes.
I think there's a chance. It seems more likely they'll do something with him and Orton, though.
Yeah. Drew.
Please, God.
He's winning it.
Who else is it? Big E.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
He has a good chance. I want him to win it.
I'm actually still kind of buying into. I think it was Jeremy's idea. Wait, is Kofi still wrestling, Lashley?
Yeah.
He is. Yes.
You could have Big E cash in that night.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Something and take the WWE title from Bob. Then you move. But I don't know.
That's the way to go, Jack. I get why you don't like it, but that's the way to go. Because then you can get Big E solidified as like the guy on one brand, and then you can eventually go with him and Roman. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, something tells me too that it's not going to be. If these Raw ratings are still dog shit, Roman Reigns on Raw is probably inevitable, right?
They're killing the brand split. I'm convinced of it.
Like Roman on Raw soon is going to be.
Here's what I think will happen.
They might pull that old trick of get him over here.
Yeah. I think what will happen is Fox will allow the brand split to end as long as they can use the Roman main events on TV the way they did with Ray. That's my guess. I think something will happen where SmackDown hosts Roman's big matches, but like he works both shows because that roster, while it is still the most talented crew in the world, increasingly with each round of cuts, it gets less and less that way. It's pretty thin now, to be honest, for a brand split.
Yeah, you figure they're going to call people up at some point, but...
Who do you think, though? Who's getting called up?
Obviously.
Bronson, right?
Bronson's coming up. Those are really the only two men you've heard, and then it's like 6 different women, which is good. I mean, both
Are
shows.
any of them named Candice LeRae?
No.
For
Never.
fuck's sake.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it. She was a champion until 2 days ago.
Who else is in the Money in the Bank?
What do we leave off on? Kevin Owens.
I love Kev. I just don't think,
And then one of Cesaro or Seth. Which I don't think Seth's going to win it because he's facing Edge. I mean, I know, everyone thinks he's going to face Roman after, but...
Dude, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If Seth wins that match, I can't do it.
No, then that's fair. And then one of Nakamura or Corbin, who probably won't win.
A tremendous lineup. The women's lineup is way worse, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, I think since they've gone to 8, they've had a really good men's lineup. Each of the past few years, where it's only a couple guys that can win, but it's guys that you like seeing and guys that'll fit a role in a multiple person ladder match like that. But yeah, the women's lineup's a bit of a mess.
Indeed. I just don't know what you do with that division because Bob, who do you think is going to win that match? You're the expert here.
The women's one?
Yeah.
Probably Alexa.
To me, it seems like they're setting up Liv.
I would be okay with that. I mean, it's not going to be any of the Raw women that aren't Alexa, because they had all 3 of them lose a match the other day.
That doesn't even mean anything, though,
no.
Right? Like that's you know how they do TV.
And then Liv's going to be in it, and then one more SmackDown woman, maybe Sonya or.
Dude, I have to say this. I think Liv's got a lot going for her. You got to stop. You got to stop putting her on the mic against people that are good on the mic.
Oh yeah, no, that's bad. They shouldn't do
So
that.
she came out to talk to Zelina, and I was just like, I can't imagine how this is this bad. Like she can't. If she just let her talk, she would be a lot better than this. You know, it's just terrible. The way that every brand I watch, the baby faces just get assassinated on the mic, dude. NXT does it every week. There was one. Jeremy said it to me. Like there was one the other week where Swerve went up to Bronson Reed and just like any person watching the show would be like, my God, what a dog Bronson Reed is. You know, like they just kill guys on the mic. It's terrible. I mean, Karrion Kross gets Jack. I'm not even doing a bit. Have you seen the shit they do to him on the mic? They just have guys bury him to his face.
Yeah, I see that they're having these guys like Cole and Gargano be like, you can't. They're doing the like you can't wrestle.
So weird. He beats them all in the ring. It's so dumb.
They kind of clearly, without looking too much into it, don't care for him. You know,
Old me.
that
Two-time NXT champ.
That probably shouldn't shine through when you're doing a promo, but you know.
I still made this is funny. The whole call-up thing to me is funny because when Cross got hurt the first time, I said from the moment he got hurt, I said, do not take him back to NXT.
Yeah.
Do not take him back there. Just let him heal and put him on the main roster.
That's what they did with Drew, didn't they? Do you remember that? Remember Drew got injured and he just never went back? He just came up with Dolph? Yeah. I don't know, man. The thing with Cross is like
just don't send him back there, because look, Cross is a main roster act. He is. He's not an NXT act.
With Scarlett, yeah, but are they going to keep them together? Because
that I'm worried about.
Yeah, you should.
Because if you do that, that's not great. Because that entrance on main event, that did not look great.
Yeah, to be clear, Hitman Punk, Cross is a heel. I was just using that example, but honestly, on most shows, the baby faces just get tore apart on the mic, and you got to protect your guys. You know, they can't be great big dorks like that. It doesn't help anyone.
No.
Bob is working, guys. Sometimes he has to just do actual work. How pumped up do you get, Jack, when Fall and Prey starts happening and Scarlett does the
lip sync? I go nuts. Out of my mind. I think it's so great. I think it just looks so great. I start to think to myself what it's going to look like next year at WrestleMania in Dallas in front of 100,000 people.
When he comes out, Andre
when he comes
Giant.
out in the main event, it's going to be next level. They're going to play that on the video packages for years to come.
In all seriousness, how much does it suck that they didn't do that match that everyone was fantasy booking and they drove us both crazy? Where it was going to be, everyone kept going, what if they do Cross and Scarlett versus Fiend and Fiendess? Do you know how much content you and I would have got out of that match? Could you imagine us live streaming that match? Like us two just sitting there going wild. Would have been awful.
You never know. They still might.
Oh, I hope not.
They still might. It's on the table. They
might. I don't think they should do that.
They got to stop the Fiendess stuff, Sam, for everyone's sake.
It does not seem good.
It's very, very bad, Jack.
It feels like they're kind of like slowly going away from it because, like you said, I don't think they realize that it doesn't really work when you have fans in the building.
This is the best thing ever, Jack. You will pop. This is great. So she's doing all this like teleporting, right? And everyone keeps going like, "What are they going to do when fans come back?" Like, what are they? And like for some reason, we thought they had an answer to this question. About 3 weeks ago, she just started wrestling matches, and like the only thing she does now is she like mind controls people, which you can do live, right? Like Nia will just be like, "Oh, she's in a trance." They have literally just realized in the last month they can't do any of this stuff live, so they have to change the whole act.
Well,
how does this happen?
Because here's what you do. You know, the last Raw in the Thunderdome is taped, so you just close the show with some B-roll of like a building blowing up, and then you find that she was in it. She just comes back as regular Alexa, like nothing happened.
I think that might be the way to go.
If they did that, I would just go all in on whatever brand that happens, just for the sake of fairness. You know what I mean? Like, just because it's the right thing to do, I'd be like, I'm in. Raw, let's roll. You know? By the way, what about when Bob was like, I don't think they're very high on Karrion Kross. He's literally won the title twice. He's getting called up in a month, a week. Like, what? Bob, they love Karrion Kross. They can't help themselves. They have to do this shit. They must like him. He's won the belt twice.
I don't think that, you know, Cole and Gargano specifically like him.
Oh, yeah. They think he sucks, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he does. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Did you see the line, Jet, where Gargano was like, you can't lace my wife's boots?
Yeah.
It got me extra angry because, remember, I'm the one still bitter that Candice is still down there, especially when I see the stuff about when people will highlight what the women's rosters are on each show, and then I will see a clip of Candace still down there in that little Capitol Wrestling Center, and I can't calculate it in my brain.
So which women are coming up, Bob, do you think? You're the expert.
It sounds like Shotzi will be up there soon. Tony, Tegan, Scarlett, Mia Yim's already up there, just waiting to,
She came up a year ago.
Yeah. That's about it for now, I think. I don't think, I know they lost the titles recently, but I don't think Ember's going up. I think she's kind of set at NXT for a while, which is fine. She's good down there.
She's figured it out. She knows what's going on.
We're a rare breed of people that like Ember Moon.
I don't know. It didn't even seem to me like the main roster officials they didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah,
she's very. Ember Moon likes wrestling, so she has opinions on it, and they get very upset.
I think barring something crazy, I think Shotzi will kill it on the main roster.
Oh yeah,
I think Shotzi would be great up there. I think that's where she belongs.
It's going to go badly, Jack. It's going to go bad. They're going to do one of them promos with her.
Tony, I think will be fine.
Oh, man. You're way more confident than me. Have you seen some of the people they've run through on this show, man? Mia Yim's not on TV. She hasn't been able to get on TV.
No. She might be a Money in the Bank match.
I think Mia Yim's great. I don't know. Maybe I'm being unfair. Shotzi feels like the kind of character they'll like the merchandise, but she'll cut a promo and it will just. The thing is, they are better with the women, right? In fairness,
yeah.
So kind of.
To an extent, yes.
I mean, Rhea Ripley is she's kind of struggling.
Well, I think what you should do is figure out if you want someone to be a face or a heel, and don't just have them go out there every week and kind of be in between.
I mean, just do the line, Bob.
No, you did it already.
No, just do it. I didn't do it right anyway. Just do it.
I don't have it pulled up. I don't have it memorized.
I thought you knew it. I'm sorry.
Yada yada, shades of gray, yada yada.
See, look, here's the thing with the call up stuff. I think we all need to do ourselves a favor and just realize there's no logic to it.
Yeah.
It just depends what mood Vince is in and hope. Cross your fingers. Some of the people that have struggled on that main roster. Dude, Andrade, have you seen how sexy this guy is? Have you seen this guy?
He looked like a god last night.
Dude, he's... when you said about Wardlow? That's where I'm at with him, man. It's out of control, the Queen Charlotte Flair, very, very lucky lady. Very lucky. Outrageous character. And he had Zelina with him. That didn't get over.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting, I guess, to see who gets over and who doesn't.
Interesting is one word for it.
Yeah, especially, because over a year in that stupid ass Thunderdome. I hate that thing, by the way. I cannot stand that thing. That was the dumbest
some
idea.
people I'm not Jack. I swear to God, I'm not doing a bit. There are people that are upset it's ending.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah, you know who one of them is? Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but there are people that we all follow.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
it's awful.
I'm not joking. I would have rather they stayed in the goddamn Performance Center.
Yeah, it was cool. Well, it was cool for a couple weeks. They have lasers and drones and stuff. But
it's good for pay-per-views. Okay?
Exactly. I was just gonna say it would have been better if the TV shows were just in the Performance Center.
Studio wrestling style, right?
Studio wrestling style for a year, but the pay-per-views, you invite people into that freaking Thunderdome. Might have been better, but to see that thing every Monday, Wednesday, once a month on a Sunday.
Yeah.
No,
it's basically to encapsulate a whole argument in one fell swoop. There are a lot of fans that think crowds ruin promos, and I don't know. I can't do this conversation. I just can't. But they would rather it just be empty arenas, which I find to be insane. Just do pre-tapes,
And part of the problem is when people like Seth Rollins also say that.
I didn't want to name him, but yes.
Well, we can name him. He said it. He's got to own up to that.
Yeah, good call. I'm a firm believer.
And I mean, they do sometimes. You can get some crowds that are just like last night, like Jericho had a shut that. Like if you go to an AEW show, don't chant Y2J, you dumb shits.
Yeah, but is that not still way better than like I was talking about Liv Morgan a minute ago. One of the promos she did was with Carmella. I think Carmella's a good talker, right? She's confident.
Yeah.
God bless Carmella. Dude, she's like selling the fake booze. She's like, oh, you people are upset about this, huh? It's like, this is insane. No human can watch this show. She's talking to fake noise.
Yeah.
It's insane. There's no one there. Like, I'll take what chance. I'll take hurling abuse anytime over that. I'm sorry. I get it's not perfect, but that's wrestling, you know?
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the thing. Like, I think what the past year and a half has taught us, like, even if the fans aren't quote unquote behaving, it's still better than the alternative.
Yeah, and you've also got to control your audience. Like I said it on the show, I'm going to repeat this again because I will not do it on Twitter because I'll get in trouble. If Alexa wins the women's Money in the Bank and Drew wins the men's, I do not want to see anyone logging on and being like, "Well, these fans suck." No, man.
Yeah,
you got to read your audience, okay?
I wonder if Drew would get booed out of the building.
See, I don't even know who would, but like what I'm saying is, if it happened, would you be surprised? I wouldn't. Like, I was at WrestleMania 34. I always tell this story because that's when I realized you can't blame the fans at every turn. Sometimes you just mess up, and that was a very key moment for me as a fan because I sat there and no one wanted to cheer Roman against Brock, and I love Roman. But the truth was, the audience had told them 1,000,001 times they didn't want that match. Yeah. And they just went, here it is anyway. And after 5 hours, guess what? The people said, we don't want to watch it. You got to listen sometimes, man. You got to. I'm sorry. I know you can try and crowbar them in all you want, but at the end of the day, you need an audience that's investing in your product.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we saw last night with AEW. I don't care what people want. If people want to rag on them or what. They're invested in that company emotionally.
Very much so.
I still remember pre-pandemic, like people went to WWE shows and were just sitting on their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, just happy to be here. Like, thanks for allowing us in.
I mean, it's going to happen again, right? Right.
That's why it's going to be so hard to judge early. Because where's WWE go? Like this Money in the Bank's in Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
That's a good wrestling city. That's a hot wrestling city. So that crowd will be nuts.
And then they're Dallas and Houston. I don't remember what order.
Like that's the thing though. They made good choices.
Yeah.
For they made really good choices but when a year from now when we revisit this conversation, things might be like Las Vegas for SummerSlam. That was a good choice. Well, it was a good choice. Wrong day.
I'm not really looking forward to everything going on that day there. But
I'm just gonna warn you. But like especially Manny Pacquiao in Las Vegas. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't know what they were thinking.
It'll be fine.
I know. I'm sure. No, I'm sure it'll be fine. But you shouldn't have put yourself in that position to begin with. Like Manny Pacquiao and Earl Spence. I mean, Joe, you understand, but like Bob.
Yes.
This is a massive welterweight championship fight right here.
Yeah.
And the WWE's like. SummerSlam. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Do you think, in fear of changing the subject too violently here, do you think Manny has a chance in that fight? Because, like, I want to say yes, but, like...
I think Manny has to... If Manny's going to get it, it's got to be through rounds 1 through 4. Once that thing starts to get into the deeper waters, he's screwed. Earl will own him. So... Manny has to. Probably first 4 rounds. Joseph, did you see what happened to Fury Wilder?
No, I did not. What happened?
Oh, buddy, it's gonna get postponed.
Why?
There was a COVID outbreak in Fury's camp.
Well, I can't even. I'm not even going to sell because I can't believe Rich.
They didn't officially postpone it yet, but Coppinger reported it this morning that there was an outbreak.
It's true then,
and it's likely to be postponed. And it was in Tyson's camp.
Dude, they got to just like.
So now, if they have to push it, which they likely will, we're looking at September sometime. It's going to have to be.
I'm going to tell you
because they can't go to August. Because they got Manny and Earl.
Yeah.
So they can't look at the August dates. So now they have to roll into September. And AJ and Usyk is already in September.
Yes, end of September. Yeah, yeah. I have a terrible feeling about that fight, Jack. Very bad. I have been telling everyone that knows me, talks to me about boxing. I was like, dude, Tyson's performance in the second fight was an all-timer. I don't want to see him fight Deontay again because I just know Tyson's going to find a way to slip on that banana peel, and I don't want it to happen, Jack.
I don't think he's going to slip on the banana peel. I honestly think that, and I don't blame Deontay. I honestly think that clause was in the contract for the third fight.
Yeah.
And I think he said, I'm going to get that money. I don't care. Like, that money is contractually owed to me. I'm going to get that money.
I get it. Here's about Tyson Fury. And I've watched almost all of Tyson's fights, like, live, right? Because, like, he came up, he's a big deal. He fights the competition level a lot. And I just really worry about him taking it for granted. And, like, listen, man, he's obviously way better. Tremendous boxer. Deontay can't compare in that regard. But Deontay can still punch.
I'm honestly more concerned because, like, you know, I'm a huge Anthony Joshua fan. That's my number one guy.
You're a big Usyk guy, too. You're a big Usyk
That's
guy.
the problem here. I love that bastard. And I love that he's getting this opportunity. What are we in? This will be 3 heavyweight fights.
Mm-hmm.
His third heavyweight fight, he's getting a shot at Anthony Joshua.
How do you feel about that fight? We're going to move back to wrestling in a minute, guys, but I'm intrigued where Jack's at on this.
On AJ and Usyk?
Yeah.
I think AJ will probably get him somewhere around 10 or 11.
That's interesting. So you just think physically aware on him, size?
I think he'll physically wear him down. Yeah. But I think Usyk will box because Usyk's a very, very talented. He's a very skilled boxer. He'll hold his own for a little bit. Then AJ will start wearing on him, and then probably somewhere around 10 or 11, he might put a stop to it.
Yeah, look, guys, no doubt, Deontay Wilder is. I mean, he's, you know, like some of his comments are. But at the end of the day, he can punch, and like
I can't dangerous. Look. If he proves me wrong, if he gets that kill shot, then great, good for him.
Yeah.
But the first fight, Tyson won that fight. Don't care what anyone says.
Absolutely.
Don't
in the second fight, he kicked the shit out of him. Right?
Like, that's the thing. The second fight gets me more because it was a mugging.
Yes.
It was a bullying, and it was kind of like where you looked at Deontay and went, oh, okay, if you can't get that right hand in there, you don't know what to do.
Do you remember the fear in Deontay's demeanor?
He was scared. He was scared shitless.
It was so wild.
Like when he went, there was a moment, and you don't see it often in boxing, but there was a moment, especially that high-level boxing, there was a moment where he looked at Tyson and realized, shit.
Because it was almost like an emperor has no clothes moment, right? It's like he was like, oh shit, he doesn't scare. He's not scared of me.
But that's what's good. But that's what's good and bad about boxing. What I like about boxing as opposed to MMA is that you will give up and coming guys that you think are great. You'll give them these tomato cans to knock out, and you'll give them a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they have to come up against the competition, sometimes it's like it's a rude awakening. And Deontay got it because Fury they're putting him in with guys that can't see that right hand. But then here's Tyson Fury, who's one of the best boxers on the planet, just pure boxer.
Amazing. Yeah.
And Deontay's just like, oh shit, man, I'm screwed. And I think it's screwed with his head that in that first fight, Fury sat up from that right hand.
I mean, that was an all-timer. Franco talks about Usyk. When Usyk fought Chisora, he looked like he struggled with his size a little bit, right? Like he won that fight, no doubt. But physically. But the one thing I will say is, Chisora is like, there are not many guys that fight like him, right? Like he comes forward. Joshua's not going to walk Usyk down in that way, right? Like this fight's interesting stylistically. I'm intrigued, guys. Again, we all get back to wrestling. I apologize, but I'm intrigued how Joshua approaches it. I don't see him being like a pressure fighter the way Chisora is, right? Like he's going to try and have some control at range. I think
AJ doesn't walk you down until he sees he can.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of boxers who will just like no matter what, that's their style. They're gonna walk you down because that's what they do. AJ won't do it unless he sees he can do it. That last fight against
Pulev.
Against Pulev.
Mm-hmm.
AJ didn't start really walking him down until the later in the fight.
Until the end.
Until that point, he was just figuring it out. But then once AJ sees the opening, that's when AJ starts walking. And then when AJ starts walking, you're probably in trouble.
So that's the thing, though, is can he figure it out tactically against Usyk without falling behind on points. Because as you pointed out, like there's going to be a big speed advantage for Usyk, right? Like he's just going to be the quicker guy. He's obviously the better boxer technically, as good as Joshua is. Usyk's magic. It's an interesting fight, man. It's a very good fight. It's a lot better fight than Wilder Fury 3, right? Like it's a tremendous fight.
And with that boxing talk, fellas, I have to dip out. I have to go pick up some things for the baby shower this weekend.
Have a good evening, pal.
See you, Jack.
Always a great time. See you, Russ.
Of course. Jack's going to freeze me on the Twitch, and that would just be like he's lost. You see it? There it is.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yep.
So this Pacquiao fight in Vegas, it's got a start time on the website of 1 p.m. local. So they're going to do like 7 or 8 or 9 fights before the actual fight, right?
Yes, the boxing starts really early.
Really because I mean, I was thinking like, I've watched boxing because I'd like to go. If I can find a cheap enough ticket, I'd like to go see that fight. We've talked about that a little bit before. I was talking about it with, I got Joel Pearl saying he'll go with me after SummerSlam. So
it will probably be on. Let me try and figure this out. I mean, it's gonna be. When does SummerSlam start local time?
Either 4:30 or 5.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be late, man.
Yeah. Well, because I know they have like fights on HBO or ESPN or whatever before they switch to like the main card.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it threw me off that it started so early, but then I'm like, they have 1 million other fights before that.
Yeah, and the thing with boxing is I love it, but like undercard fights, boxing are not always, unless you're into watching like 2-0 fights, 0-30, they're not always the greatest times. Boxing, I very rarely do it, but it is one of those things. If you just roll up for the main, dude, it's Manny Pacquiao, it feels like it's a worthwhile thing. Someone mentioned in the chat, but I just saw AEW's number. I've lost it. What was the number, guys? It was down, I think. I don't know for sure, but I believe they were down, which is interesting because it makes you wonder, like, Sammy and MJF was probably a big match for the view. 8-7-1. Joel, I apologize for working like this in the chat. What was it last week? One's got 8-7-1. What was that? What was NXT this week also?
They were up a little bit. I think it was 650 or something.
They had the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're 8-8-3, so they're just like down slightly. That feels like their audience, right? High eights. And it seems like they have like a DVR that gets them like. They seem like they have a consistent audience that like follows every week. TV viewership's not getting much higher than that as far as like live. I don't know. Bob's not a big ratings guy, so I'll move on.
It's hard to access them now because the one site shut down. So
I mean, look, we do this every time, but it's the truth, right? Like WWE just sold the network to Peacock. Yeah. AEW just got another show. Like all is fine, guys. Networks are making 101 wrestling documentaries every week. Like it's all fine.
And that's the thing. Like even going down to like Impact and Ring of Honor, I don't see any of them ever closing.
Yeah, because they're just content factories.
Yeah. So, especially with like Twitch and whatever now, if you just want to run your show on Twitch or YouTube and pay very low overheads, I mean, you can, The
weirdest thing is the only way really those promotions die is if they like really truly try to compete.
Yeah.
I know that sounds dumb, but like it's like ironically, bless him. If he's out there, I mean this with love, but ironically, by trying to make the NWA relevant again, Corgan could actually kill the NWA. Because like, who the hell is going to buy it off him if he just checks out at some point? Like,
yeah.
I mean, we're going to try it, guys, but I don't think we're going to have much of it.
Well, and in the case of like, Impact, they've had 5 or 6 times they already should have been dead. So I think they're fine at this point.
Dude, they've got to try it. Look, I think Bud's going to AEW, but like, if I was them, I'd really, really be trying. Like,
I was thinking about that too. Like, they don't have any big surprises to bring in for Slammiversary at this point, because it feels like obviously Joe's off the table, Andrade's off the table. It feels like the Iconics are going to end up in AEW, so you're left with like Chelsea Green.
I don't even think Chelsea Green's going there, to be honest, but. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's a difficult one, right? Like, I think last year they benefited from the fact that the pandemic was so fresh that AEW were like, we're not signing the guys that didn't sign with us a year ago. Gallows and Henderson can go there for a bit. Like, they now use them anyway, but I don't think Iconics feel like Impact. I don't know, guys. I really do not know about that.
Yeah,
They also
only
like. Sorry, Bob. Correct.
Well, they only have 3 matches announced for their pay-per-view next weekend, which seems bad.
Look, man, I think the Iconics are a fun act, but like, even still, if that's the big guns you're getting, like,
yeah,
like what you get, what do you really get out? Like you're gonna get. I'll never forget. And listen, again, bless them, entertaining people. I want to say respect to Peyton, or whatever she's called now, because Cassie, right? She's Cassie. Respect to her because she was very honest about the effect it had on her getting released, and I appreciate it because that's hard. But
yeah,
I will say, like, I'll never forget they wrestled Bailey and Banks, and they trusted them with like 5 minutes. And listen, I honestly think if Bob and I wrestled Bailey and Banks, they'd give us 8.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like they were entertaining, but they were mostly just a comedy team. They never really got like, you know, Peyton did the promo on Raw Talk and then faced Asuka a couple weeks later and didn't go anywhere. I don't know, man. You know, I think the Iconics I think they want to face Ty Conti and Anna Jay, but that's one match, and then what do you do from there?
I've got so many questions about that matchup, and I'm just trying to figure out how I can politely frame it. I think I'm going to just leave it. I just cowboy hat, you know. Kalisto. Oh, I'm sorry to hear all of this, guys.
I don't know if it's boxing or something, I believe.
He is, yeah, that rules. Dude, if I was a booker and like any of my pro wrestlers came to me like, yeah, I'm gonna have a fight, I'd be like, no, you're not. How about you just don't do that? Let's not have you end up memed on Twitter, please, God. You know, like I'm not doing it.
Unless Impact has Bryan Danielson waiting in the wings, which would be a surprise. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I would, if you're Impact Wrestling and you have to sign, like, what offer do you make to Bryan Danielson? You like, so you're going to be the booker. That goes without saying, right? You're the booker.
Yeah.
You own half of the company without paying any money towards it. We just give it to you.
Yeah.
We give you a ring for your back garden, the 6-sided one if you would like it. What do you do? Like, what's the split? Like, it's just Brian is so great that Brian's just going to go back to WWE and like just be Brian again. And I have no issue. I love Brian, but like it's just funny, right? After all that conversation, everyone realized after about 2 weeks, oh, Brian's just going back. It's fine.
It's also great that we've just not heard from him.
Yeah, he's not a Twitch guy.
No.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Impact is I have an article coming out about Impact in my 24 article day. And I have takes, as everyone knows, you know? Like, it's just a sad promotion to me. I think creatively it's better than ever. I really believe that because I think they try hard to get over guys that aren't all that. Like, Sammy's one of their top baby faces, you know? It's difficult. But, like, man, what a weird existence that company's had and continues to have. Like, its legacy now is just hard to kill. How weird is that? Like, the joke's just like, they'll never die. LOL.
Yeah. And I mean, it was good for a while, you know?
But was it, Bob?
I had a good time watching Slammiversary 2005 the other day. So I think like 2005, you know, when Joe was there and kind of starting to get his shit in, and then right when they start bringing in the WWE guys, it's pretty solid.
It's definitely not like, look, there's definitely times where it's a better product, I think, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I just don't know if they ever pieced it together for a true high. Joel, I'm not watching that Impact tonight, brother. I've got 24 articles to write, Joel.
Also, you know what the thing is whenever Jeff Jarrett talks about any of it, it makes perfect sense, and I'm entirely on board. So, you know, I got to give him credit.
That's what those guys do, man. Like, Bischoff's the same, you know? Like, the one that always strikes me like that is Kevin Sullivan. And they go to him. What about, like, why did you do Dungeon of Doom? It's like the worst thing in the history of professional wrestling. And he's like, well, very simple. Hogan didn't want to wrestle anyone on our roster, so we had to build a factory of men that he was comfortable wrestling. Therefore, we created the Dungeon of Doom, a gimmick so wacky that he would definitely never get booed wrestling against us. And I was listening to it and went, well, that makes sense, fine. Wrestlers are great at convincing you on that stuff. I ain't going to argue with him, he's right.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, every idea sounds great. Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't try and execute it in the first place.
Yes, indeed. Some of the ideas, I do not know how they sounded great, but you are correct. This is what I mean, okay? So Marjo points out some good acts, and I agree with this. He says, Beer Money, Joe, AJ, and Christian was the peak for me.
Yes.
So I'm with that. But that feels like 4 different times.
If I had to guess, it's like all in a 2 or 3 year stretch.
Right.
I know Joe and AJ are there at the same time.
Yeah. But are they doing good stuff? Like, because sometimes AJ's like a goof. He's like a comedy guy. It's weird.
Yeah. The one I just watched, AJ took an X Factor from Sean Waltman off the top of a ladder. Yeah. So that was fun.
He's important at that time. 2005. When Russo starts writing, he becomes like a lackey for Christian and Kurt Angle, which I would recommend against, but I'm simply built different.
Yeah. I wish Kurt Angle would get into his TNA stuff on his show, but he would rather, do his other stuff where he just talks about how he never turned down anything Vince offered him and, grateful just to be there.
Bob, can you do an impression of Kurt Angle when he intros his own show? I'll be Conrad.
Just be like, hey, everybody, welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. Here's my host, Conrad Thompson.
Has anyone explained to him that Conrad can introduce it?
Yeah, that's weird because, all the other Conrad shows, Conrad does the introduction, so it's strange that Kurt does it for that one.
Like, objectively, if you look at the video of it, like, it's very obvious that Kurt's asked to introduce his own show.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. Kurt Angle, God bless you. You've done a lot for this business, okay? He's one of the most terrifying men to look at in the world at this point because his eyes, they're piercing, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are piercing, but his face doesn't really move.
No.
He's really striking. I will say, I got in a lot of trouble the other week because I didn't select Kurt Angle as a Bret Hart dream match. Everyone's got to leave me alone on this Kurt Angle thing, Bob. People get very upset if you don't consider Kurt Angle the greatest wrestler ever. It's a little bit much, but he's a hilarious podcaster. I'll say that much for him.
Yeah, I mean he keeps his show short, and I appreciate that. I don't think I've learned anything in the 20 episodes I've listened to, but
it's because he doesn't I mean this in the nice, respectful way ever. He doesn't really know anything, right? Like, you can convince him. If you host a podcast with him, Bob, and you was like, Kurt, I really do think Brock is the greatest wrestler ever, he'd be like, yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing where it differs from the rest of the Conrad podcast, too, where he's just talent and he was never involved anywhere. So he doesn't have anything other than what we've seen. So
yeah. He also has no philosophical opinions on the industry. He's just like, we did this stuff on TV. It was very funny.
Also, anyone that gets brought up, he puts them over. So,
which is good. It's good. Yeah, right?
It's nice. I mean, it is nice that he's not just out there, shitting on everyone.
But he's going back to that a minute. I want to see the chat can get involved. You can do this, Bob. Bret Hart dream matches. I think we can both unite on Brock, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I would like older Brock. Mm-hmm. Just because the selling, I think, is levels.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. is a fun one from Race. The thing with Kurt, he could definitely have a great match with Kurt because Brett would make Kurt channel all of his, But I could also see Kurt just be like, we're just going to have a wrestling match. Like we're in the Olympics, And that sometimes can be, some of those Benoit matches are him just having a fight with someone.
Yeah. Eddie Guerrero, they probably ran that a couple times, but it doesn't count.
I think they did. I think they, because they were there at the same time for sure, but I don't think they run it.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't look like they did actually. Okay, so
Brett wasn't allowed to wrestle guys that were good. Okay, what we got here? So we got AJ. That's a great one. I think there's a lot of Brett and AJ as he got older. and he
Yeah.
really got physical and slowed down. He was racist Natalia. That is disgusting. John Cena, Battle of the Jorts. Him and John would have a great match, no doubt. Crazy TNA Kurt. Yeah, I get it. Samoa Joe, Cesaro. Cesaro is a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, Cesaro's a very good one. Kenny Omega's a good one. Brucey, the point guard, is working. I don't know what he's doing, but he's, I'll give.
Daniel Bryan would obviously be a good one. CM Punk, I think
Good
I'm just naming obvious ones here.
Yeah, Punk is actually like a really. I think there's a lot of Bret in Punk's work too, in his attention to detail and stuff. I know we're not allowed to say that Punk was good anymore, but
yeah, who else for Bret?
Gable, Nigel McGuinness, Volta, Josh Alexander, Orange Cassidy. That would rule. Imagine Bret just putting a sharpshooter on him. That'd be great. It's got a good ones. What's your ultimate one, Bob? I've built the time machine. The territory's hot. What match are you booking?
I think it might be Brock, man. Like that 2002, 2003 Brock against Bret.
But forget Bret. Like you could do any match.
Oh,
I feel like Brock still won half of it, right?
Yeah.
Brock.
I've talked about like Brock and Vader for a decent amount of time. I thought that would have been interesting. Like Owen Hart and Kurt Angle, that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bret and Kurt would be fine, but it's not.
It would be. They'd kill it. It was just my personal thing. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot of them kind of are revolving around Brock, but
fair.
But yeah, man, it's unfortunate when you really think about Bret that his career did get cut short, and I don't know that he would have mended fences and came back to WWF, but how old is he when he retires? He's not that old, right? When he gets the concussion and all that?
It's so hard because my instincts are, in an ideal world, he takes that money from WCW. He comes back in 99 without Montreal ever happening. And he works Kurt, Jericho, all those guys in WWF, right?
Yeah.
The problem with that is if we do that to the timeline, he doesn't wrestle Austin.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And he really changes Austin's career and life. He changes his whole trajectory.
Yeah.
So it's difficult.
What are you guys talking about?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, at least that's something halfway decent.
How are you, Jeremy?
I'm ready to kill myself if that's
Sorry to hear
any
that.
indication. No, I shouldn't say that because I know people care and don't want to hear that. I'm just very frustrated is all, and I apologize to everyone. Yeah, and I'm just fucking frustrated.
Very fair. You can do whatever you need to do. You're good.
I don't want to do anything, Joseph.
Fair.
I wish I could do this show. Let's keep talking about Bret Hart.
We're talking about Bret Hart dream matches, Jeremy, because I got in a lot of trouble for not listing Kurt Angle as one. People are very mad. John Moxley's come up in the chat. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I like it. Bob got very excited and started talking about Brock Lesnar matches. Bob always lists Brock Lesnar and Vader, and I always have to remind Bob that Vader would just punch Brock once and Brock would kill him. He'd just shoot on him and murder him. So it would not go well. But Kylo suggests that you should at least have Rhea Ripley riptide you off a bridge.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Hello.
Bret the Hitman
Fightful
Hart versus the Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Tremendous. I like when the chat just panders to me, just to make me happy. It's good. The FTR, Dax Harwood especially, that'd be good. Did the Hitman ever wrestle on in the singles? I know they did the Brainbusters and all that good stuff, but I don't know if they... I'm not sure. I want to go to the cage match gimmick. Bob is back to pretend he's doing shoot work. We lost Jack along the way because he started talking about boxing and got everyone in trouble. Kurt Angle on cage match, Jeremy. Over under 9.3.
Bret Hart on cage match?
Kurt Angle. I'm sorry if I said Bret. I might have.
Oh, you may have said Kurt. I wasn't.
Good.
I don't have all my capacity with me. 9.3?
Yeah, over under.
He's got to be over, right?
He is indeed 9.45. His last match, I was reminded, 6 minutes. Baron Corbin, tremendous,
Yeah.
tremendous stuff.
It's a
Before
great
that, he wrestled a 2-minute no contest with AJ Styles.
Tremendous send-off for...
It was wild, right? Britt versus Tanahashi. Yeah, that'd be great. Hitman and Kenneth, no doubt. Edge. My God, there's a lot of these. I mean, it's so awesome that Brett has these kind of like. His style is such that people really can see these matches. Like, no one's mentioned Ray. I don't think he worked Ray. Ed Kingston, of course. How is Kurt over 9.3 of multiple years in TNA? People like that stuff. Some of it's good. Kurt is most proud of the TNA stuff, believe it or not. As far as I know. He changes his mind a lot. Shingo. Andrade. My God, we just got 40 Brett matches in the chat. Very fair. Stang. Yeah, when they did that stuff, it was such a shame. Just shitty. Yeah, a lot of his TNA stuff was good. And like he was able to do some dream match stuff there too, like Joe, Nigel, AJ, all that good stuff. It was really weird when Angle did his retirement tour and he worked like AJ and Joe again, and they did like tribute spots. That was so strange. Like TNA tribute spots on Monday Night Raw. Chris Daniels, my God, people love Bret Hart dream matches. Is what I've learned from this. Christian Cage, tremendous.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Bret and Raid indeed never happened. That's a shame. That would have been incredible. They have teamed in a 6-man in Turkey. Tremendous. Okay, good job, guys. I'm glad we explored that one. Everyone's good. We've got Homicide, we've got Daniels, we've got Gresham, we've got everyone. It's great. What was your final choice? Was it Brock and Vader?
Yeah.
How upset would you be after 6 minutes when Brock just double-leg takedowns Vader and kicks the shit out of him because he got stiffed and potatoed on a punch?
I think it'd be fun. You got to keep it short, obviously, but it'd be a lot of fun.
To be fair, they could have like an actual like Clash of the Titans 15-minute match, right? Like they're both great. They're not like smoke and mirrors guys.
Yeah.
What we got here? Okay, dude, Kazarian's. Here's a question, Bob. Do you pop for that Kazarian shit, or is that like? Do you punch yourself in the face and say, I hate the Young Bucks over and over again? You know when Kazarian's the elite hunter?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, What do you want me to say about it? I think too many people got involved with that match, but...
Yeah.
It
kind of felt like the bit, though, didn't it, at some point? I get you. I'm not saying it makes it good. I'm just saying it did feel like it was, like, on the nose, right?
Yeah. Also, I mean, it feels like at some point you should just give Eddie Kingston a tag title. But, I think the story that they're ultimately trying to tell is, when someone faces part of the elite, they're going to have to go through multiple people, and I think that'll come into play with Hangman. That Twitter thread the other day where they broke down, Hangman and all that, they kind of touched on that a little bit. So he's going to have to go through Kenny, he's going to have to go through the Young Bucks, he's going to have to go through Gallows and Anderson. That's good storytelling. You keep those layers in there, but... I don't know, man. It got a little convoluted for me.
Hang on a second. Was that the first time you ever watched a Young Bucks match?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, more on that in a minute. Inside the Ropes is rated us for Party of 8. We appreciate it, folks. We are the Fightful Gaming. We do very little gaming, but we talk about professional wrestling a lot. We are currently discussing Bret the Hitman Hart. And now we've transitioned to our friend Robert O'Neill, who is looking nervously in his green shirt as he gets ready to talk about his first ever experience of the Young Bucks, which is incredible. I will say quickly, because I want to get you on this Young Bucks thing. I mean, the thing with Kingston is, you've got a lot of guys that are young and need to win to get over.
Yeah.
I get that, King's he's bulletproof. And they beat him last week, so, he's not a loser. He can't get over the hump. He's a tragic figure, Bob. You and I can relate to these kind of guys.
That's true.
Yes. But the thing is there's heroes and villains, Bob, as you know. It's very, very Okay, the Young Bucks, first ever time you watched them wrestle. False.
It was fine. Like I said, I mean, I didn't care for the match all that much. I thought they did too much, but the thumbtacks were cool. you know, they're not for me. And
Feels
I'm
like
aware.
you should probably watch more than one of their matches before concluding that, but I understand your point.
I'm aware that they're not for me. You know, our good friend Confirmed Shoot was like, you know, if you watch too many of their matches, you're going to start liking them, and that becomes a whole thing. And you know,
He's going to beat the shit out of you. You know that, right?
oh yeah, no,
He's just going to just kick the shit out of you, Bob.
we're gonna have a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
No, we are.
I'm gonna V-trigger you in your big ass head in Chicago.
Are you going to do the point first?
First of all, I don't think I'm going to All Out.
You're gonna be in Chicago though, right? Like even if you don't go to All Out, like, you'll be there for the weekend, won't you?
I don't think so. I don't like just live. I don't just go there. Like,
Oh, I thought you were going. All right, then
No.
fine. You're getting V-trigger. You're a coward, obviously, because I told you I was gonna V-trigger you. But if you're gonna be in St. Louis, yes, I'm gonna do the point. I'm gonna go like that, and then bang, and then do a V-trigger.
You going to do the bang?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, maybe
An ode
maybe
to my favorite wrestler ever, Kenny Omega.
I could come up for All Out. I just have a lot of other stuff going on.
I'm not gonna force you to come to All Out. I mean, you should. We got tickets today. The tickets are quick, very quick.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to announce Full Gear tickets. I got tickets to what's it called? Not Dynamite. What's the other show? The Friday show, Rampage.
Rampage.
Got those the other day.
Those are on sale.
Yeah, for down here. Yeah, there's still a lot of decent seats too.
Yeah, I'd
They're
imagine
the
that
ones that I paid
Rampage.
for, Bob, right?
Yes.
I pay guys. Those tickets cost $10 each. I sent Bob $600. I want you to know that.
We are apparently sitting at the top of the building.
Don't even. Confirmed Shoot is a lunatic. He's booked out the top of the building just for a Twitter bit. Was his explanation to me? It's just funny on Twitter.
You know what the thing is it's going to be a lot of things that are just bits that weekend.
I know, it's actually embarrassing. Like we're grown men and we're gonna just do Twitter just purely for ratio, Twitter numbers. It's not good.
Like the first time either of us see him, he's going to be in like a Sean Spears shirt.
I know, yeah. And the zoo is just gonna be pictures of us just standing at the zoo. Like here they are. It's just at some point it's a tragic existence. Right? I try not to think about it because what are you gonna do? I messaged him earlier. Guys, I think we're doing the Fleet 50.
The
I think we're
Fleet
doing
50?
Yeah, the New York 50.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
That was the that was the Confirmed Shoot's invention, which is where fans of the World Wrestling Federation would just list their 50 wrestlers of the year. But now the Confirmed Shoot doesn't watch any wrestling, including WrestleMania, any WWE, sorry, including WrestleMania. And he won't do it. I know he won't. He just knows he can't do it for branding reasons. But I think I'm going to start the Fleet 50. The chat would like this, I feel. Top 50 AEW guys. In-ring only guys, that's the key. This is purely for mechanics. You can study the C shows if you'd like to, for layers. But I'm announcing that sort of on here before I do it on Twitter and get abused.
I mean, I wouldn't vote, but I didn't vote in the other one either because I'm not going to list 50 people in order of how much I enjoy watching them. It sounds like a lot of big time commitment that I don't want to do. But I'll support it,
Yeah, good. Here's a question. When I announce this, how many DMs will you get in the first 10 minutes after that?
I don't get any DMs about you.
Sorry to hear that.
Nobody DMs me, period. I say this all the time. I don't get DMs at all.
Do you want me to DM you?
No.
Really?
Definitely not you. Why would I want you to DM me?
I DM Joseph fairly regularly.
Sorry to hear
He'll
that.
sometimes just be he'll just go, man, Dynamite, good show. But yeah. me and the Confirmed Shoot are very, we worry about Bob because we feel like he's scared to say he likes AEW Dynamite, and it's very, very funny. We worry about him. We feel like, man, he's going to have to just be honest with himself. He knows the show rules. He'll get there eventually.
It's annoying. Yeah, the timeline can get annoying a little bit with some stuff. I have too large of a following. Yeah, so that kind of
expand on that a little bit, Bob. What do you mean?
If you say, you like something, and well, first of all, if someone says they like something, don't immediately reply with "this is why it's bad."
Yes.
Just, I know, let people enjoy things a bit or whatever, but just leave people alone. It's easier, and it's easier to watch wrestling just being like, I liked that or I didn't like that, and then moving on to the next thing instead of spending, hours breaking it down.
Wow, Bob's really getting. He's attacking me now. I don't like this. This list, I'm Crackerjack, will be based on in-ring match catalogue for a year. Oh god, stuff's coming up on Twitter. This is very bad. Britt Baker, dude, I'm not talking about that line because I will I don't want to get in trouble. Joel says he sends angry DMs to Jeremy. That's very mean.
Factual.
Joel.
Very, very true. Joel is one of the very few people who DMs me.
And it's just abuse.
It's usually abuse, yeah.
Just hurls abuse your way.
Yes.
I
don't want to be mean to Joel. No, Joel DM'd me during this and was checking up on me because could tell
he was very upset with you.
He was telling him to murder somebody.
He DM'd me during the flagship and said, "Tell Jeremy to never talk about contracts again." The piece of shit.
I believe that.
Listen, guys. I like Britt Baker. That was not me saying I don't want to talk about it being good. I don't want to talk about it because I just saw people getting really upset, and I was like, man, you've got. I mean, at some point, your life's got at the end of the day, sure, there's a fan. You just go, yes, indeed, they took blood money. Just leave it. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, no, we don't need to get into it.
I mean, we should. Let's be honest. They're great big fucking nerds, and they're logging on to Twitter to defend something they know is true because they don't want it being said on another wrestling show. A wrestling show that's mere existence was attacked on many occasions by that promotion, including counter-program of a charity pay-per-view. But I'm not going to get into any more of this. You're right, Bob. We should just not talk about it because apparently, if you don't say anything on TV, you're not taking shots. It's not like they ever leak stuff about the company to journalists, fake journalists, try and get
My God.
People really think it's unsolicited, as though nothing happens off air. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway.
Bob, you don't have to duck this, Bob. Be honest.
It's just
it's bullshit, Bob. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just easy to enjoy things and just ignore the things that you don't enjoy. But
I agree. But can we just be honest for a minute, okay? You're my friend, okay? How insane is it that we both have friends that will still, with a straight face, be like, to be fair, NXT was on Wednesdays first. Are you, honestly, are you ribbing me? What? Not you, Bob. I'm seriously. You see this stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're doing it unironically. Guys, they went live to 2 hours, 2 weeks before Dynamite came on the air. Bob, don't worry. You don't have to get into it. I don't want you to get in trouble.
It's interesting to think how this group of people would have handled, the WWF and WCW stuff. Because I don't think they would have handled it well.
Fair to say. Do you know when Kingston was just like, man, our show's better than theirs, but we said, why don't you die? Just got enraged by it.
I still didn't see what he said because I don't care.
Dude, if you watch this promo after reading the discourse, it would pop you so much. It is the most innocuous promo. He's said so much worse stuff about so many worse things, so many different things than this. He's commented just you won't see this on the other channel. Let me tell you.
Also, if I was making a list of people that have a right to be mad at WWE, he's probably near the top.
Yeah, because again, it goes back to that what we were talking about earlier, Bob, of the idea that they're trying to be a movement.
Mm.
Ed Kingston very much encapsulates that, right? Because let's be honest, if it doesn't come to existence, he never makes national TV, right? It's just the reality of it. We don't have to lie.
Yes.
He's that's his team now. He is we don't need to get into this again. I apologise, Bob, and try to get you in trouble. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you know what the other thing is? Last Friday or whatever, I was, doing my thing, not really looking at Twitter all day. So I get through pretty much the entire workday, and then, I go on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, Lana says Roman Reigns hates women. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound right. Sounds like you guys are kind of blowing that one out of proportion a little bit. And I'm like, oh, Roman unfollowed all the women on Twitter and Instagram. I'm like, what? It's a holiday weekend. You guys need to have something better to do.
That was all so funny. We never talked about that.
Dude, I logged off the entire weekend, and
Yeah.
it ruled.
Dude,
It's a
the
good thing to do.
discourse was legit just like...
So
Wait.
what was it? What was the discourse?
Okay, so Lana said that she was supposed to have a table spot with Nia at Survivor Series, and Roman was just like, "No, I'm going to do that with Drew," which is what top guys do, right? Like we get it. That's just what they do.
Yeah.
This then expanded into Roman's actually unfollowed all women's wrestlers, and he is a sexist pig, which was tremendous. Look, I'll be completely honest with you. If you think Lana getting that one table spot would have actually like done anything in the fabric of her career or this industry, it's time to really consider where you're at in your life, because she was fired 6 months later.
This, like, bless Roman for this. This is the shit they need to pay more attention to, of like, hey, yeah, maybe we don't do multiple table spots. Maybe we don't do multiples of this shit throughout the show.
And this is something that Roman in particular didn't do for so much of his career. Just like, saying
It's
no to
overdue.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time overdue. I agree.
Yeah.
And look, let's be honest about it, man. It's not a coincidence he's got the only stuff that's good on the show. Like, really, let's be really honest about it. It's like, I ain't going after Roman. I don't care who he follows or any of that good stuff. At the end of the day, he's the one that's actually looking after what he's doing, and he realises he has enough power to do it. I ain't getting mad at him for protecting the spot like that. No way.
Yeah. No, exactly. You got to know your worth.
You do indeed, and I mean, at this point, he's got about as much worth as someone could possibly have in the modern version of WWE. Right? I mean, he really is the promotion at this point.
Yes.
Did you see Sean Rossap's scoop, Bob?
Which one? He's had several today.
You know when Bud Murph looked like he was like getting in Braun Strowman shape in that picture the other day?
Yes.
How much do you think he weighed in that photo?
Probably like 225.
213, apparently, Bob. Sean Rossap scoop. There you go, guys.
That buddy,
is that out now, Jeremy?
it comes out at 8 p.m. That is what I was working on and getting frustrated with for the majority of this this show, is I was transcribing literally that entire interview, and maybe like at least 40 minutes of it. But yeah, it's very good. A lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good scoops and everything that the people hopefully enjoy. I wasn't frustrated with the transcribing. I was frustrated with people.
Just the stuff that he sent out already is very good.
Yeah.
Rishi, I completely get what you're saying, and I agree that Lana's angle probably needed the table, but I respect Roman just being like, you guys are like just wasting your time over there. Let me have this spot. Because that's the truth, they were. And everyone had to keep telling us that we should just let the Lana stuff play out, and she was fired 6 months later. So I agree with you, but Roman knows the deal at this point, Like, he's going to be selfish. There's nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, but I get you.
She also was almost certainly the sole survivor in that match.
Yeah, they did the finish where Bianca got counted out, remember? She was like on the steps, remember that?
I mean, no, not really. I don't remember anything from the past year.
No, I remember that finish vividly because like she hadn't tagged in, so she's the winner by default. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I was very lucky. Sean Rossap, he sent me the link. He named the interview Bud Murph. I thought it was just to pop me, and then I realised I was able to watch it. I thought he was just trying to make me laugh with the title. I watched the interview. It was tremendous, man. Yeah. I mean, it really was good. Like, as a fan of his, you could tell he, switched on in the right way. And I said it before we went on the air, like, he's a guy that I don't know if Bud Murph is a genius in any way, shape, or form in anything but professional wrestling, but he's got a hell of a brain for pro wrestling. Like, you can just tell. He's talking finishes. He's talking about working stuff out Paul Lee. It's a really good watch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna check it out. Murphy's cool. Sean is okay. Not happy with Sean right now. Sean's been bullying me online the whole week.
I did see that on Twitter where he went to the Reds game and I guess they beat the Cubs and he told you to go to hell.
Can you say bullying again?
He's been bullying me.
I don't know if you're saying it correctly or like people on WWE TV say it incorrectly, but that word will always pop me because of how like Braun Strowman says it. It's very fun. Who packed on more muscle post-release, Bud Murph or Matt Cardona? Probably Cardona. Bud Murph's just he's just big. He's a big frame. The thing about that weight stuff is, Jeremy knows this because he's a shooter. People really have a misunderstanding of weight, and they're like, "There's no way he's under 200." It's like, dude, Yoel Romero fights at 185, or used to fight at 185, and look like a ninja turtle.
Sean says this in the interview of Murphy's I was 200 pounds, and people are like, "Man, you're really small," and Sean's like, 205 is the second highest UFC weight class.
That's when I had to stop because I can't believe that was what they just started talking about. Yeah, it's crazy. People don't get it.
Dude, you see Quentin Jackson in a fight, and you think this
huge.
Man, he looks huge, and it's this man just weighed 205 pounds. It's insane.
So this is the thing is people don't get is AJ Styles weighs 180.
Yeah.
Now Dan Bryan 170 a push. These are small guys, man. There's nothing wrong with it. It's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
EC3 is huge, and he's 210. Oh, don't bring up EC3, Louis. Fuck. That'll really get me going. That was fun. EC3. Do you want to talk about EC3, Bob?
Yeah. No, I think we should talk about if he was used correctly in WWE or not.
Yeah. So my take on that is, Bob, considering that he's really only skill other than looking good is that he's a good promo, I would suggest that him being a mute on television was probably not the best usage of him. Do you think that's a hot take on my part? I know I'm really going out of bounds a little bit.
Well, what the thing is that, you're built different, and we have to remember that. So, ideally, probably could have let him talk a little bit more or at all.
So, hypothetically, if you liked a wrestler and they were a good talker and they never got to talk and you was just like, oh man, I wish they'd get to talk more. How would you feel if people replied to you actually they suck and go fuck yourself? How would you feel about that? I have interest. I just wanted to know.
I wouldn't be thrilled. It's kind of like how, every time that I publicly praise FTR, I'm just walking into a minefield for myself.
Yeah, and because this makes clear here, folks. Bob gets in trouble because he says critically acclaimed tag team FTR are good. People are hey, what are we talking about here? It's wild, man. It's just saying. It's a weird game Bob and I play every day when we log on to social media. Very weird game. We make it through it. We win sometimes. We lose most of the time. But it is what it is. We always have the DMs, Bob, to bury people.
Yes.
Ethan Carter III. He's in the Ring of Honor. I'm going to review something he probably does on Sunday or Saturday, whenever the hell that is. It's Christmas. Good point on Crackerjack. Bob, what's your favourite Christmas wrestling memory? Wrestling Christmas memory? Do you have any?
Not really. I mean, I didn't get wrestling stuff. My parents don't like wrestling, so I kind of had to get into it on my own.
Fair.
So it's not like they ever got me wrestling stuff. And the only Christmas specific things that stand out are the Tribute to the Troop shows, which aren't very good. I liked they did Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns on Christmas this year. That was fun.
That was good, yeah.
In a cage.
Big E won the title on that show, right? Remember that run?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe he did, yes. Yeah. So that was fun. I mean, ideally, I think that was taped. I know sometimes when Christmas falls on a, show day, they make them work Christmas, which ideally you shouldn't do. But.
Ideally, but I mean, wrestling's not really ideal, so.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean,
those guys really care. They just work Christmas.
Good point.
Do they want it bad enough?
Exactly.
Buddy Murphy. I have to say this, Jeremy. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I know I just put him over, but when he was talking about all of his many failed creative attempts at getting over, I had to ask in the end, Jeremy, does he just not want it bad enough? It feels like he doesn't want it bad enough. I was left to question that. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you now the greatest Christmas show in wrestling history. Now, this is definitely not the greatest Christmas show in wrestling history because once upon a time, Christmas was a big time for territories. Big events, yeah?
Yeah.
However, in 1995, Nitro aired. It was taped. This is peak. Eric Bischoff, okay? Lex Luger, Scotty Riggs. Sting, Big Bubba. Dean Malenko over Mr. JL. And the main event, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, that's 1 hour of wrestling. Christmas. Folks, it used to be better.
Oh man, they put Saturday night's main event on Peacock finally. So speaking of it used to be better, I'm gonna dive into that because there's a lot of good stuff there.
I love those shows, bro. They're so good, man. They're not, good's not even the word. They're just so like vibrant and different, you know.
There's a Hogan and Harley Race match where they do a table spot. It's insane.
My God. My God. I need to see this now. Hogan's like, there's one of the early ones. I want to say he works funk, or maybe even the Harley match I'm thinking of. And he's like just like doing Dusty Rhodes shit. It's very odd. Before Hogan like found his thing, he's just like 4 different baby faces combined. It's very weird.
Yeah.
If it doesn't involve the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, it does not deserve the title of Best Christmas Show. But he did one of those Christmas shows, one of those Raws that were actually on Christmas Day, I want to say. I think he did. Bob has disappeared again. Very sad. Lots to talk about Christmas shows. None of them are good, obviously. Wrestling is never good. I don't think, though, like, wrestling, it could benefit from trying to be that more for folks. You know, just something that families watch together. Wrestling got so far away from that when it tried to be cool and edgy and just, like, became lowbrow pornography. But, you know, it can be good. It can be fun for the family. I don't know what match everyone's talking about from TNA, but it seems like they did something on Christmas.
The barbed wire Christmas tree match?
Seems like that's what they're talking about. Silent Night, Bloody Night is what Reese is talking about. I don't know. Yeah, man. I don't need the low-key porno part. I agree with you. I think wrestling could benefit from just being like somewhat palatable. You know, for humans. Like not saying that you'd get arrested if you watched it. Well, again, I'm built different, as we know. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just scrolling through my DMs here as I try not to get in any trouble on Twitter. Yes. Oh my God. My God, was that Bob O'Neill?
It wasn't me.
Yes, I'm back.
That was Bob. That was incredible. That was like he was doing like the voice to like a Pixar movie or something. He's like, ah! Just made like as much noise as you could see him. Anyway, folks, I think we're done here, Jeremy. I don't know. Does the chat have anything I want to talk about before we conclude Christmas?
Yeah, we can keep talking because like when we wrap up here, then I got to get back to like actual work, and I don't want to do actual work. So
that's fair. You're fair. Well, the chat can guide things here. I just, the thing is, there's stuff I want to talk about, but I don't want to get Bob in trouble because it just gets really nasty, and they go after him for like an FTR. Bob's chair made
that. Why do they go after you for like an FTR? Your brain kind of sucks, O'Neill. Like,
yeah, they said mean things about the World Wrestling Federation once.
Yeah, O'Neill's branded himself as like a WWE guy. Yeah, true.
Well,
That's
no,
it.
hold on.
He said, "Well, hold on."
I've kind of tried to shy away from that because some of the diehard defending people that are left are kind of scary. Yeah.
All of them. They're all scary. Like,
hey, why are you so upset about literally everything on this show that you don't watch? Like, I don't know. It takes a while, I think, to realize that you don't need to engage with everything you see.
You know what's really weird? They all have their profile pictures are all one particular female wrestler that's actually good, and they are like ruining her brand by doing this.
Okay, well, we're not going to get into that.
Not her, NXT.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing. I'm not talking about it. Trust me, Bob. I don't need to do that either.
No, that other thing. No, we're not doing that.
No, I don't think those fans are like the pro WWE.
No, they're not. Their one personality trait is they like one wrestler. But yeah, no. Anyway, FTR, they weren't super positive on their way out, so
can't imagine why.
Yeah. If I didn't know, bro, I think they were just being honest about their time working in the World Wrestling Bro. Texel, with the TEW series, Bob doesn't know yet, but he's on it. We think Cass. Bob, do you know the concept for the next TEW series that you're involved in?
No.
Fair. You and I are a team. We are Dusty Rhodes and James J. Dillon. But here's the bit. We pick our first 5 wrestlers. The rest is picked by our enemies, Jeremy and potentially Cass of Body Slam. Which means all of your many Twitter rivals could be on our roster as we book the territory.
My God.
Indeed. Very scary.
Okay, well, it should be fine.
Joel Pearl has pointed out that the Kaz XL will be taking on Eddie Edwards Slammiversary. To which I asked Joel, why the hell is Moose wrestling Chris Sabin? I mean, I like Chris Sabin. I just don't know why that happened. I must have missed something. I mean, I do miss everything. I don't see the TV, but the last time I saw Moose was working on top, and he's now wrestling Chris Sabin. Why? I want to see Joe have to book Sammy Callahan as the main event. Fair. Oh, Moose took out Shelley. Really?
That's not cool.
I thought Shelley just had to go home.
Yeah, did he ever come back? Because I thought, like, during the pandemic,
he did. He did take him out. I think that was I guess that was the storyline reason of. I didn't actually.
He stepped in. Yeah.
Yeah, because he works like in a doctor's office or something, right? And he just focused on that during the. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Adam Shelley. He's good.
Very good. Hot take. Do you remember when the Machine Gun, Cole Anderson, and Kenneth Omega shined Moose up like he was Sting in 1989 at Hard to Kill? That's great. I enjoyed that. Bob doesn't remember this. He didn't see it. But
No. No, Moose apparently was in demand, though, before re-upping with Impact.
Moose is, I mean, I understand a lot of the things going against Moose, but he has a lot of things going for him. I get it. I do understand it. But he's a good example of, quite frankly, us being too online. And, like, sometimes you're just better off just, like, not knowing stuff. I know that's terrible to say, but it's true.
No, I was thinking that yesterday, though, too. Like, it was a lot easier to kind of support people when you didn't know everything about them.
Yeah.
Which, I get it. You shouldn't support bad people, but...
Definitely. It's really hard. It's a very complex subject because it's actually very cowardly of us to say that, but, like, I completely get what you're saying. Like, it's very difficult to have to police the people that you like doing wrestling, you know?
Well, yeah, and because if you start doing that, then, the companies themselves are inherently bad. Look hard enough,
Yeah.
And then if you want to zoom out even more, like, everyone orders stuff from Amazon. They're bad,
Yeah.
So just everything you do kind of sucks.
It does rule that, right? Like, some random wrestler will be like a Trump guy or gal. People are like, I just can't rock with them. Let me watch the 8th hour of WWE television of the week. Like, it's just so weird and dumb. Like, I don't know. I get it too. I get it completely. It's just a difficult thing. It's just very hard to really nail down. But it affects me. I'm not gonna lie. It does affect me. Like, there are guys that I just shut off from because I just think they're dipshits.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Yeah. The thing is, here's one of my biggest fears, Bob. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Well, I have a nightmares about this. I wake up in cold sweats. One of my biggest fears is that I spend many years judging other wrestlers, and then there's this one guy that wears a hat, and he pretends my favourite wrestler's a bad person, and I don't think they are until they're exposed that they actually are also very bad. That's my one big fear in life. That'd be very bad if that happened to me.
I feel you there, man.
Yeah. I would have to lash out violently in many DMs if that happened.
Well,
Yeah.
The good news is my favorite wrestler avoids social media, so...
Braun Strowman's on social media a lot.
All right,
Dude, I actually loved Jack's angle earlier. Did you hear this, Jeremy? He was like,
no.
He was like, you know the whole bit is the Elite have sold out.
Mm-hmm.
They bring in Braun as their heater. Like,
I did hear something like this. Yeah, I heard something about this.
It actually rules. I'm kind of all in on it.
God, Jack rules. I love Jack.
He's very good. He's over too. People like Jack. People know him in this business. They know what he's doing. He's actually probably an honorary Bullet Club member. I'm not. Believe it or not. I will be next week though when I shoot that angle live in Austin, Texas. Is it Austin next week?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they got a good show next week.
We do. I wonder if the rating will go up and we can say that they're going to overtake Raw soon, or it will go down and we can say AEW will soon be dead.
It'll go down, then you say it doesn't matter, and if it goes up, then you just say,
Yeah, things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially, the thing is, like, it's so true, and there's nothing wrong with it, is there? Like, for example, Bob, okay, let's say Brock shoots an angle at the pay-per-view, and then the next night, the number, they hit 2 million. You're going to get, like, a days of content out of that, right? If the number doesn't go up at all, you're never going to tweet about it. Like, it's very simple. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think that's part of it too. Is like everyone's a hypocrite. You just have to kind of deal with it.
Yeah, and there's nothing. Look, in the big grand scheme of things, the world is not. It is not a great crime being a hypocrite in the world of professional wrestling. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
No, that's like among the best things you can be.
I don't know about that, but yeah. Guys, I don't know if Machine Gun's main eventing next week. I feel like the coffin match is main eventing. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like the positivity, but Darby's a big ratings draw for them. A coffin match. Bob, who would win in a coffin match? You or Confirm Shoot?
Oh, man. I don't, because he's quite older than me, so I got that going for me. But I think we both get blown up pretty quick, though.
How old are you, Bob?
28.
Holy shit, Bob.
20,
Jesus.
28.
Okay. I'm not going to shoot on the
Bob looks
Confirm
at
Shoot
least
age.
38, right?
We both look way older than we are. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really give Bob shit about that, you know? Yeah, Mox and Carl, I do think they're going to start, actually. I think they'll start the show with Wild Thing. And everyone will just collectively shit their pants. It'll be great. Don't shit your pants, to be clear. I'd really like to know the crossover of Dynamite and Raw and SmackDown. Could actually be lower than you think, but it could also be higher than you think. We'll never know.
You remember that story? I think it was at, like, All In, where someone shit their pants.
What?
That definitely happened. Like, someone posted about it on Twitter, like, oh, someone sitting by me shit their pants.
Oh, like a
Anyway,
fan.
that's what...
Is
What?
a fan?
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it if I look it up, but...
It's definitely true. It's true.
That happened, right?
That's what I said don't do. Someone just shit themselves.
I
would've
don't
been
know
real
anything
awkward.
about this.
If that didn't actually happen and I just made that up, it would have been real awkward, but I'm glad...
Imagine Wild Thing plays and you're like, man, it's John Morrison. The guy next to just shits himself. What is the need for that behaviour at a wrestling show?
Oh my god.
There's a very famous football fan in England, and the mythology is that, like, he's just sold in on the team. He just shits himself. Like, the people around him understand this is what he does. He won't miss a minute of the game. He just shits himself. I feel like at that point in life, you need to stop. Like, it's time to just, like, do other things, right?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't shit yourself.
No, but you have to be very clear about it, okay? Shitting yourself is one thing. Being passionate enough about anything, you just stay. You've just shit yourself. You just stay because you don't want to miss a game of football is very dangerous. That being the norm, Jeremy, is very concerning. Like, I cannot stress this enough, Jeremy. He's not a very normal play. I'm gonna be real with you. You know. Oh god, that fucked me up. That was incredible. That's exactly what I was thinking about, and Bob said it. It was very funny. So,
I didn't know anything about this. This is at All In?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe I don't know anything about this because, like, I was not watching All In live. I went to a wedding that night, so I wasn't on Twitter or anything. So maybe that is why I missed the fan shit discourse from All In.
Yeah, like I said, I would try and Google it, but I don't think anything's going to come up.
I'm imagining me at Dynamite and the Machine Gun Carl Anderson is in centre ring and fucking Wild Thing plays, and I'm like, yeah, and the guy next to me just shits himself. Like, that's the end of my night. I'm going home. I'm not doing that, you know? Oh. Just want to stress again that what I was saying, about the football fan. I want to make this clear one more time, because I'm not judging anyone for shitting themselves. What I am saying is, if it reaches a point where the people that sit around you are aware that you may consistently shit your pants during the season, you need to change your life. That's all I was saying, to be clear. No judgmental here, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I just had like my brain couldn't help it. I just went to, like, imagine being at a WWE show and the Fiend Bray Wyatt comes out and the guy next to you shits himself. Like, what do? You just throw yourself off like the building? Like, what do you do?
Dude,
You gotta leave.
You would throw
Like,
him
you're
off the
not gonna-
building, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to go near him. He shit himself.
yeah, fair. I just like move away. You just gotta like move away.
But hang on, it's a packed house. You can't just like you move over to the shitty guy, right? You
Yeah,
can't.
no, you can just like go get some food or something. Watch the rest of the show from elsewhere, man. Like,
But like, would you not just be embarrassed that you was at an event where the Fiend Bray Wyatt made someone shit himself? Because I would be.
I mean, I'd be embarrassed for that guy.
I'm imagining you like reasoning with him. You're just a big fan, huh? Okay, enough about this shit. I'm sorry. That just popped me because I said it and I had it in my mind and I said something else and Bob just goes, "When the guy shit himself all out." Oh God Almighty! Where do we go from here? Why did I end up dragging the poor Fiend Bray Wyatt back into this?
Yeah, why'd you use that as the example?
It's just funny. The
I
idea
mean,
of the
he's
lights
scary.
going out.
What
Exactly.
caused the all-in shit? Like, anything? Y'all got anything of that like call?
Well, here's what we know: it's either excitement or it's just a desperation not to miss anything.
Yeah, but like,
I mean,
you
they
know,
also
was it
could've,
like Cody winning the title? Is that what like popped it?
They also could have just been like super drunk.
I feel like something's got to like cause that, right? Like you're not just like standing there and you just like, you know, it's the middle of the match. It's like a headlock, and you just shit yourself.
No,
It's
but I
gotta
mean,
be
like,
something to where like a big moment, like a super kick or
you're-
something.
if you're hanging out, you know, outside the arena getting drunk, it's, you know, 90 degrees out, then you go inside and you're eating some arena food, and then next thing you know, man.
Why is Bob inadvertently revealing that he shit himself all out?
Alright, hold on.
Yeah, Jericho in the Penta gear. I feel like that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. Dude, Cody's theme just hit like adrenaline. Start the show, I'm like, yeah, and then you just shit. It's a good song, man.
Enough. I can't do this anymore. I just can't. It's just too funny. I'm sorry. Terribly immature, guys.
A
but it is-
wrestler should put the brown noise in their theme song and make the entire arena shit themselves.
No. This please stop talking about shit. It's too much. Everything I read in the chat is popping me. Like, JK said, definitely Okada or Ray Jr. Like, the idea of just seeing Rey Mysterio and just shitting yourself, like, what is the need? What is the need?
Okada, when like the coin flip, when the coins hit and everything, like, that's good.
Oh, man.
You know how many wrestlers like have probably done it though in the middle of their match?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's very different. They're, like, doing stuff physically,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
You know.
A lot of
Did
them are
Brock
like,
shit himself? Or he made somebody shit him? He made the Big Show shit himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. I think
Steve
I've
Austin
written
shit.
that story.
Steve Austin shit himself, right? He's working like Yoko.
Yeah.
But these things happen in MMA, no doubt. But
Tim Sylvia famously shit himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to stress again, that's very, very different. It's just being excited that the code man's arrived at all in.
Is it though? Like,
Feels very different, Jeremy. I'm going to be honest with you, it feels very, very different. I mean, neither are good, but one feels much worse than the other to me. God.
who do you think
That's
shits
the most-
themselves at All Out?
Full gear, you mean, Jeremy?
Well, I mean, All Out's first, so that's why I went there first.
What do you mean who? Like among like I only know you're going.
Like the wrestlers.
Oh,
Like which wrestler shits themselves at All Out? First pay-per-view back in front of, packed fans and everything. Like wrestler's just gonna walk out and shit himself, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Brock Anderson.
Brock Anderson. It's a good call. Is he gonna be on that show? He'll be in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
They always
He'll
do a
be in
Battle Royal.
Some sort of 18-man tagged.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone gets paid.
no, I mean, the thing about him is his match kind of showed that he's not ready yet.
Oh,
Wow.
that was nasty.
That's a hot take.
After all we've gone through on this show.
I mean, I would rather watch him than another QT Marshall match, but
My God. My
QT
God.
Marshall's like not terrible, right?
I don't want to watch him though.
He's- Everyone just pretends he's bad.
Yeah, like QT
Let him
Marshall's
do
fine.
his training stuff and be on Elevation or whatever.
Why are you so mean to All Elite?
Just all elite, like the spirit
Just
of all elite. This is what I'm saying, bro. It's like folks like Bob, bless their heart, they sit through so much shit on these shows they watch. But when it comes to like trying to get them to watch AEW, it's like I don't like QT, so I can't watch any of it. I just give up. Like foul. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you can overlook that. Like, again, there's going to be, we talked about this like 3 hours ago, there's going to be stuff on shows you don't like.
This stream has been just awful. just diabolical content. At one point, Jack and I just like talking about boxing, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" Jack left. Jeremy returns. and we just
Joseph,
had-
this is the last chance we're going to talk about it. I feel like we've talked about it before, many months ago. Connor and Dustin. What are we thinking?
Oh man, I'm actually emotionally invested in this one.
Are you?
I want Dustin to win really bad because I just don't want to ever see Connor again on my timeline. I've had enough. You know what I mean? I spoke about this when you was, the other day when you had to do something and you was like, Joe, just take the chat for a minute. Remember that?
Yeah.
On like Tuesday, I think, when you went to get food. And I said it and was just like, I think it's so weird that all the blue tickets just like still fuck with Connor. I'm not even doing a bit, I swear. Like, it feels like he's objectively kind of lame. You know? I mean, I'm not a detective, Jeremy. Feels like he's kind of an arsehole to me.
Dude, that thing where he's like, "Oh, your wife is sliding in my DMs" type shit, like that's so stupid. Right?
Yeah, like I just find it to be so terribly 2021 that like we'll talk about what's right and what's wrong, but the guy will do such objective wrongs as Connor has seemingly.
Yeah.
I know alleged, but I think we will have a belief that like you back victims 9 times out of 10, right, Jeremy? Like, that's the way the world's going, and I'm for that 100%.
Yeah.
But if a dude's a cool fighter, it's like, nah, I'm still good with him. Like, I just think it's weird. I'm being 100% sure.
I'm with you.
It's very modern world that like Lewis is clout, and it's like he's just a fighter. So like he's. I often say at Connor, like he's a guy that at one point he had this element of like mystique that was really special, and when he knocked out Jose Aldo, even I, a cynic for a minute, was like, man, that was some Ali shit, you know? Like he called his shot and did it in the most epic fashion. He's now just to me become like Tyson, and Tyson's great and iconic, but like also just like kind of tragic, right? In the end, like just became like a character himself. I'm glad obviously he's good now and he has that podcast where he cries. But it's just, I'm done with the story. I don't find him endearing. I don't find him charming. I kind of think he's an asshole. So I'd rather Dustin Poirier, I think he's a pretty objectively good guy. I'd rather he kick the shit out of him and beat him again. Whether he will or not, I don't know.
I'm still of two minds of like, I don't know if Connor is that same dude anymore, because like we haven't the Cerrone fight was whatever, that was even like 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago. That was like 2000. Was that 2020 or 2019?
Oh, man,
I'm pretty sure it's 2019. I'm not looking
can't
it up.
have been. It can't have been. I think it was 20. I think it was
Was
January
it?
20.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it just feels like.
No, I actually think you're right. I think it was 2020 as well.
We were doing the podcast, so it definitely was. I just thought about it. I remember us talking about it off air.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm again. Connor's done a lot of shit. Yeah, it was January 2020. For some reason, I thought the Poirier fight was end of last year and not beginning of this year.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, he was fine in that fight, but, like, Cerrone was, Cerrone's kind of washed and just beat up. Like, the Poirier fight he lost. He lost the Khabib fight. He lost Mayweather. Like, the Alvarez fight is still, like, an all-time performance for me. It was 2016. Like, it was 2016 when he did that. And I just don't know if he's, like, that dude anymore. And because, like, I just don't know if he's that guy anymore. And Poirier, like, he's obviously very, very good. And he has the tools to beat Conor. My other thinking is, like, well, Conor will make the right adjustments. And he will, he's taking it serious again or whatever. And he'll win this fight. I think I'm leaning towards Poirier. I'm leaning more towards, like, Conor he ain't that guy anymore. And he can make me look really stupid on Saturday.
No, I get it. Yeah. I mean, there is definitely a chance that this is one of those fights where it all bottoms out. And it just... Conor has... Dustin doesn't fear Conor anymore. And he just beats the shit out of him. I think there's a chance that happens. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not predicting it. I would not be surprised if what we saw at the end of that fight, we just see, Dustin no longer fears Conor like that. He just beats him. There's another part of me that's like, I do think Conor is a great fighter, and I think when he's locked in, he can do special things, and I still think that's probably the case. I don't know for sure. What I'll say is this: Dustin showed in the last fight. And he impressed himself. He can box with Conor a little bit, right? Like he landed in the pocket and stuff. And the key to me is he can't let that carry over into this fight and don't play into Conor's hands. Let's be real about this, bro. If Dustin, with low kicks or not, if Dustin keeps distance, doesn't get hurt or damaged, and just exists in a striking matchup, mixes a takedown or two along the way, round 3, Dustin should have that fight going his way.
Yeah.
The key is if he starts playing his hands and leading, Conor is counter striker is just different. Like he's a monster in that sense. But watching him try and lead in that last fight, like he had his moments, but he was hitting Dustin at the end of his punches. Dustin was spotting openings. Like I like the matchup for Dustin. I just worry that he's. I don't know. I kind of worry that he won't make the adjustments necessary to Conor, who inevitably is going to make changes because he lost the last fight. That makes sense, To me, it's a lot about, like, chess here, to me.
That was where, and I'm with you, is like, Conor's going to make adjustments, and so, all right, is Poirier able to make adjustments to those adjustments? I thought Conor was going to walk through Dustin last fight because I thought Dustin was going to come out just, like, super aggressive and just really play into Conor's hands in that way because he is a great, like, counter striker. And if you try to get over aggressive against him, like, he can, he'll find those openings and he'll pick you apart. And Dustin played a more patient game, especially with the leg kicks, and that's what won him that fight. Because you're right, Conor he's not a leader. He's not going to lead the fight like that. He needs somebody to kind of walk forward a little bit. And then he can kind of batter him. Because, I mean, look, Nate won the first fight. The second fight was very close. Conor was knocking him around in those fights because Nate would get, like, aggressive and Conor would just find those openings. Nate just has a hell of a chin, and Conor has absolutely no gas tank. What was it? His line always popped me. It was like, I was not disciplined with my energy or something.
Yeah.
But... like that's what I feared was going to happen to Dustin. He was just come out too aggressive. You saying like, oh, maybe he just doesn't fear Conor's power and everything now. Like he should still have that respect for that.
Yeah.
Still keep that same kind of distance and let Conor kind of come to you a little bit more. If you come to him, I still think he's elite when it comes to counter striking.
The thing is, it's a big time like mental warfare fight, isn't it? Because Conor has to view Dustin differently now, right?
Yeah.
Before he was the guy that he wound up and knocked out, and now he's the guy that put him out. I mean, he really that finishing stretch, he put Conor down. You know, like he didn't leave any.
He turned
doubt.
him into a meme.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But on the other side of it, and this is what makes the Dustin part we just talked about interesting, is like, what effect does it have on Dustin that he now knows that he can hurt Conor? Because again, I've said this a million times. So again, he hurt him with a right hand, man. Like Conor threw like the lunging left hand where he really leans, and Dustin clipped him with a check right hook, and you see Conor's legs, like it weren't just low kicks, he was buzzed.
Yeah.
And you see Dustin almost like mentally just be like, oh shit, like you're in trouble. Like I can finish this fight. And he did. 10 seconds later, it's over. It's fascinating how that affects things. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think this is a great fight. And I don't watch a lot of, like, I'm so out of the game now because I find it so hard to follow.
Yeah.
But, like, this is what you want to me in a rubber match. There are so many factors at play here. Any result would, like, if Conor went out there and starched Dustin, I'd be impressed, but I wouldn't be shocked. If Dustin did it to Conor, same thing. Like, anything could happen here. I also think after 2 fights that was like, you know, the second fight, Conor won round 1, but he got stopped in the second round. I think after those 2 fights, you now may get like the epic meeting in the middle fight where they just have a great fight. If that happens, I lean Dustin's way because that to me suggests a longer fight. But I don't know, man. I'll pick Dustin because I want him to win, but I would not be surprised with any result here. Other than like Conor submitting him or some shit, that'd be weird. But other than that, I'm gonna be surprised.
I really think that if it goes past 3, that Dustin's winning. Conor in later rounds, I mean, his track record just isn't good. Like he fades in all of those fights, and I don't trust him in any type of later rounds. And it's it's not like Dustin's gonna just stand back and do nothing. Like even if Conor is like dominating the fight, he still fades in those.
Dustin's killer instinct, man. Like he finishes guys. He goes after it. It's crazy.
O'Neal, who do you think's gonna win?
Probably Conor. I mean, it's unfortunate, but he's still very good from what I've seen. I mean, I'll probably watch. I usually watch the big fights, and he kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do, right?
Bob got like. I wish I could have been watching Dynamite with Bob last night when they did a smash cut to Jorge Masvidal in the crowd. It would have been tremendous, tremendous stuff. One of my favourite ever Bob interactions was when Jorge Masvidal knocked out Ben Askren in 4 seconds, and Bob was like, "That sucks." I was like, "I feel like that doesn't suck. I feel like that was pretty objectively awesome." I mean, listen, look, let me be clear about this, folks. If you don't fuck with Jorge for all of his many reasons to not fuck him, I get it. Ben Askren's not the guy to go with in that regard.
Yeah.
He's not. So I wouldn't worry about it. Bob's take was he goes to me, he's like, "I just want him to have an actual fight." I was like, "Dude, he knocked him over a flying knee in 5 seconds. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." That popped me. Bob,
right.
Any memories of this?
What's up?
You're good, don't worry.
Sorry, I was they're doing something after Impact tonight where they're doing the best of Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, so I was recording that.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it's good. It's good. Well, they had one good match, but
No, I'm more sorry to hear the fact that I was running a bit on a podcast and you was recording Impact Wrestling. But yeah, you go. Jeremy, just get out of here, man. We talked about shit in our pants for 2 hours.
All right, Joel, who's on the Impact stream tonight? Yourself, Jensen, who else?
I'm supposed to be.
Oh, are you?
For Jensen's DM, me and Joel was asking me. I have 20 articles to write, guys. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Oh, okay. It says Joel says just me and Jensen. Nobody wants to watch a contract signing, so watch us clown on the contract signing. O'Neal's gonna be on it. I promise there will be good matches tonight too. All right. Well, it's just Joel and Jensen. I'm shocked it took this long to where y'all couldn't book a guest. Very sad.
How do I do it? Can I watch it on Twitch? Or how would I be watching it?
Yeah, you can watch it on Twitch.
Because I'm not allowed to in Britannia.
Oh.
How do I do it? Can I watch it through that feed?
Yeah, you could do that, but you'll be behind.
That seems lame.
You could do it. Joel could probably do a share screen with you, I would imagine.
I mean, I don't know why I'm pretending I'm going to watch the show, but that's the other thing. I don't want to ruin it for everyone. I feel like people actually watch Impact.
Oh no, dude! I was on there last week and I was watching the basketball game. Like I don't
Yeah.
actually.
He was watching something else one week. I remember I sent you some stuff.
Yes. Like I don't actually watch the Impact stream when I'm on the Impact stream.
Okay, I'll do it.
There
I'll
you
do
go.
it. I've got an hour, yeah?
Joseph's gonna be there. Oh man, you're gonna watch a Kenny Omega, Sammy Callahan contract signing?
I'm not going to watch it, am I?
Yeah,
Very
chill.
simple. Stephen has reassured me here, and I'm fine. I will not watch any of this show. But as long as the chat, I don't actually want to ruin it for anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to people be like, I'm here to watch Impact, and this dipshit's talking about Arn Anderson. I don't want to do that. So,
Joel will get very
Okay.
mad at you. Joel is like professional
Yes.
and is like
I'd rather not be shouted at while watching Sammy Callahan cover.
Yeah, Joel is like, all right, guys, shut up. Swingers Palace is on. We gotta listen to
I'm
this.
fine with that. I'm fine with Swingers Palace, but the rest of it, I'm not sure.
No, any type of talking segment, Joel's gonna tell you to hush. We gotta listen to it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to be on it, guys.
Oh my God.
I'll see you for this broadcast in 1 hour's time.
See,
I've only
there-
done 4 hours of professional wrestling content today.
There you
My
go.
God.
Joel just said he tells people to shut up for Swingers Palace. He loves that. He loves
Tremendous.
that. All right. We're not gonna rate anybody since we're gonna be back on this channel in like 45 minutes. So just stay here. Just watch nothing for 45 minutes, and then we'll be back on here. All right. Thank you guys. We'll be back with the Impact stream. Y'all enjoy y'all's night.